everyone, it is our privilege, our pleasure to say welcome to the Halo World Championship.
Oh my goodness, it slows down a little bit, but then as soon as you think you're safe, Lucid appears out of nowhere.
Dead Zone is starting to call the sniper right shots. He's starting to heat up. And Dead Zone rips the face momentum. Body shot onto the press. He keeps on rolling. Could be about to find his over.
Oh, that was freaking dirty, dude.
Behind enemy lines, trying to make
Oh, big solo. This is what Mal does. Flies in, 49 on the board. Eco finds another. And now SSG Swarm. They hunt him now. Trying to sneak a flag. Look, the next snipe. Now people are warmed up. Now people are playing like it's a Halo World Championship. The question is now, as we head towards our grand final, the road has been a long one, but will this road be one that is paved with bricks from the green wall, or will it be lined with the stars as Space Station and OpTic Gaming get ready to go here in Seattle? It's the Halo World Championship Grand Final, and it's Strongholds on Live Fire to kick us off.
It was always going to be these two teams. We knew it all year long, and it only became clearer and clearer, and we are underway in your 2024 Grand Final at the Halo World Championship. It's OpTic Gaming versus Space Station.
Man who has earned a POV more than anyone so far this season, you have to say, in Stellar. Won't get his hands on the sniper rifle to start, but one player who will, though, is going to be bound immediately. Puts it to use as well by taking down Formal, switches his attention to Lucid, who's flying in from the back of C here, and it is going to be a flip on C by the looks of things here for OpTic Gaming. Camo is coming up. Dead Zone is very attentive to that situation and moves towards it, but early on here, it's going to be B and C, as well as the Camo and Snipe in control of OpTic. This is a fantastic start for them.
Really is a clean grab. Dead Zone knows he needs to stay alive here, but he even decides to challenge, and even with 2 dead, that makes it now 2v2 on the map. Nice control, nice points on the board early on for OpTic Gaming.
2 dead still on the side of Space Station, so OpTic can just take their time here. Milk these points for all they're worth before they try and think about collapsing in, or maybe where those spawns are coming in for Space Station. For now, though, it's going to be SSG who are looking for kills, looking to wrap back through towards A, as they will control A and B for now and go into a slender lead here.
Have to also mention, early on in the venue this morning, it was one player warming up and one player alone. It was Lucid, getting ready for the day's work. Space Station now into an early lead here with the AB hold.
3 dead though for the side of Space Station, so A is going to be flipped and C will also be flipped by one of the remaining members of Space Station. Recognizing that spawn, Lucid's going to try and beat them in the foot race towards B. Formal's going to do the heavy lifting when it comes to stepping inside of that stronghold, and that's the first headshot of this series, and expect quite a few more.
Dead Zone eventually cleans up the kill on Concrete as well. That was 2 dead for each side. However, Dead Zone's kill makes it 3 dead for Space Station for the moment. The last player was trading. It was Eco. A triple kill for Dead Zone early on. Allows OpTic Gaming to secure B. They will start scoring once again.
Big finishes coming in there from Dead Zone. Picks up that triple kill. What a tournament he has had. SLC was a tough one for him. We know that he was sick. We know that he was struggling, and still managed to be a part of OpTic Gaming making it to that grand final. But now he's fit. Now he's healthy. He has shown us here in Seattle exactly what he can do. 3 dead for SSG, and it's looking like potentially our first triple cap opportunity.
A starts to flip as well. How does Dead Zone play this QT in the back pocket? Don't forget about it. Doesn't even need it. Maybe trades in the end. They will look for that reset. Most importantly, it will be a trip cap for OpTic Gaming early on, and still 2 dead for SSG. Bound knows he needs a big play here, a big opportunity for him to push things back in their favor.
You're wondering why OpTic are looking so dominant at the start of this, by the way. Look at the statistics. Dead Zone is the difference maker. He is 10 and 2 at the moment for OpTic Gaming. On the other side, the main man on the Space Station roster, who usually is the kill leader, Stella, is yet to register a kill, and this might be the longest he's ever gone without a kill.
Can you imagine? Just the setup right here. Dead Zone is on 11 kills when Stellar's on 0. If you told me in game 1 we'd ever have something like that, I would not have believed you. And speaking of, it's a fantastic run for OpTic Gaming. They retake the lead by a huge margin now, 85-46.
Dead Zone's going to flip A as well, so they will continue to score here as Legend finds himself a sniper rifle. Will have to put it to use. 3v3 on the map, and Trippy picks up a double himself to clear a bit of space. Pressure coming in on Legend from bottom middle as well. Dead Zone's going to be that player. Dead Zone finds another. Legend is now left on his own, and Dead Zone finds two. That was essentially a staggered 4 dead situation for SSG, and OpTic will continue to score. The triple cap was momentarily in, and now they're flooding, trying to split these spawns.
Stagger spawns indeed. Lucid somehow picks up a kill despite getting, I think, team naded in the end. Finally, he's taken down, but as you say, it was a stagger 2 dead, so Dead Zone and team are going to take advantage of that. They will flip A as a result.
Triple cap back in for OpTic Gaming. Dead Zone is going to have to deal with multiple members of Spacestation though, as they will flood in towards A and should be able to flip it. Formal's trying his best to defend C at the moment, but you can see that he's got a lot of attention on him, as Legend is trying to hunt down multiple players. Sniper rifle in his hands. Trade does come in.
Leave it to Formal to still trade in that scenario. Not easy to do when you have pressure like that on back tower. He still makes sure to trade in the end. Trippy trying to hold down Nest. It was 3 dead momentarily for the side of SSG. It's an important push here. Legend's gonna be your last player on dummies. Keep an eye on this push.
Legend just come off a spawn here, so Lucid knows he can buy time. He knows he can wait for help because he's on somewhat of an island at the moment, but Legend is making him work so hard for this kill. And Spacestation will continue to score here. 81 points on the board for them. They are starting to chomp away at that early advantage that OpTic worked for.
Nice kill as well. That's going to keep OpTic 2 dead. Staggered spawns if they get these 2 kills at back C as well.
Oh, great shots coming in from Legend. Trippy was flying across with the G-slide, and still Legend managed to make sure that his bandit reticle did not leave his body. Stella will find another one as well, and all of a sudden, Stella finds himself on 4 kills. After a slow start, it's Spacestation now, who will continue to score and have the AC hold.
Now it's 3 dead again. Notice that Lucid stayed alive in back tower. He was a staggered death, and he's going to get taken down here again. It's unfortunate series of events for OpTic Gaming. It's been continued staggered spawns. Also a lead change now off of the triple cap. Spacestation now firmly back in control of not only the game, but also the scoreboard as well.
Now in the hands of Bound as well, so he can have a little bit of fun. Dead Zone has no idea where he is. Formal, most importantly, will pick up that kill for OpTic, and now Bound has to change his decision, having seen multiple members of OpTic Gaming flooding in towards that stronghold. Now, AB has been flipped by OpTic, so they will continue to score. And it's up to Bound to try and find some kills to find a little bit of space.
See what Bound can do here. Camo dissipates, but perfectly timed there on the 2 dead. And now with Lucid bottom middle, you look for the 4th. It's going to be Trippy all the way at scoreboard. This will be an easy control of B.
Lucid taken down as well. Bound working alongside his teammate to clean him out from bottom middle. So a staggered 3 dead situation for OpTic, which turns, like we can see on our screens, to the B stronghold being flipped, and Spacestation continuing to score here. They will go into a lead now, 150 points on the board, but this isn't a game that's getting out of hand either way at the moment. Lucid will be taken down by Bound. That's a killing spree for him. Uses the key QT just to soak up a few bullets as he flies through. But most importantly here for SSG, stays alive as Formal finds a snipe and a double kill.
3 dead there for both sides, actually. And now as Formal gets a very important kill on C flat, he will flip C. OpTic Gaming will be scoring again at the 164 to 130 mark. Let's get into a listen with OpTic Gaming.
Still back green. Still back green.
Find them in A.
Still back green.
I killed one. Last guy A, guys. Last guy A. He's a repulsor going bottom mid, it looks like. He's going rat.
Hey, we should just leave B. We should just leave B open.
Cuts, on Obi.
On mid as well.
On Obi, solid.
Stay down. Nice up. Looking at you.
So 2 bolts inside.
Yeah.
Stay down. Watch your big door. Big door,
One guy
Legend.
A plat. One guy A plat. Down. He's key door. I'm backing up B. I'm getting off.
Cuts.
Sandbag. One guy.
That's Eco. Weak.
They're trying to go top mid. They're trying to go top mid.
Watch out, cuts.
Big door A plat, guys. Big door A plat.
Big door. Look at big door. Big door right now. Cellar. Watch out, big door. Absolute.
Watch out.
They're gonna play
Watch out.
You're bound, one shot.
Big door, Tommy, I think.
Nice, we got 1.
2 there, Tommy.
In green.
2.
Side south.
Wait, back B. 2 back B. Really
2
weak.
weak back B. 2 weak. And it's 2 one shot.
Okay, most of 15, guys.
Yeah, we should play A here. We can also go tower though.
Good Tommy. Yo,
Spawn.
in A. Going window.
So we jump back into the game from the comms. I mean, it's essentially a tied game here, but Spacestation have wrestled an element of control away for a few seconds. But OpTic answer back with a few kills of their own. This is a really important individual, and it's going to be Legend who wins it. Trippy just, I think he ran out of ammo in the commando clip and had to switch, and that gave Legend just a window to hit the headshot.
Eventually A will flip, but just as quickly as we say that, C flipping as well. So Spacestation now back in control of BC hold. Formal with camo, and a big opportunity for him to make a play here.
2 players stacked inside of B as well. So Formal can find targets. He can deal damage, and Lucid will play off of that. He finds a double kill himself. Eco's still alive on the nest, but no shields, and not going to be able to contest this conversion coming in from OpTic Gaming over at B. So it's not just B that's being flipped. Look at what Trippy's doing. He's damaged Legend top tower. He's going to have to drop down. They're flanking behind. They get 2 dead from SSG, and now even though A is flipped, they will continue to score.
Really nice staggered 2 dead as well. Finally, all the players on SSG will be popping up, but it was really good timing on the rotation there. That means that OpTic Gaming is only 14 points away here, currently outslaying as well, 50-41 in the game so far.
OpTic now laying the trap. You can see Formal just playing this call, waiting for it to play off of. Grenade's going to certainly damage the shields, but Dead Zone's going to find the first kill for OpTic. So now they have the number advantage. Now Formal can step forward. Now he can strike. Cleaning up Legend will make this a very, very profitable few moments here for OpTic Gaming, and they will go into a lead and continue to hold B and C.
Into the lead, that was 3 dead as well, and they pick up another kill. Take a look, Trippy gets a late kill on Bound. They have kept SSG on the spawn cycle this entire time. Sniper popping up in just 5 seconds.
If OpTic can grab this sniper rifle, then it might be their opportunity to close this game out. Formal on a killing spree.
Oh my God.
Gets the stick as well onto Stella, turning 1 into 2.
3 dead again.
Not allowing SSG to get any kind of a foothold on the map.
3 dead yet again. They will also get the sniper rifle as well. What a big, big double kill from Formal to get that death stick as well. And now Lucid with the sniper rifle. They're already at 230 points on the board.
The play from SSG is to go towards B. Oh! Bound gets its ribs caved in with that shot. Legend will fall as well. It's 2 dead for SSG, but they do manage to flip B. Eco now has a huge amount of responsibility at the back of B to keep himself alive, to buy the time. But OpTic look like they're trying to make the play onto A. They want to flip A and play the ends of the map.
Trippy starting to play it from the scoreboard side in the window. Looks like he does have the ability to push up here. Lucid knows he has to watch the nest push, both high and low pillar side. AC hold for OpTic Gaming! And shots like that keep SSG in the death screen.
Bound going to challenge this time, stays alive. Lucid trying to close this game out with a few more kills. It's 240 points on the board here for OpTic. If they can hold for the next few moments, then they will go up by 1 in the series. It's going to be camo picked up. It's going to be points continue to be scoring. SSG are making desperate plays in and around those strongholds, but they've lost 2 members.
Keep an eye on A. A gets reset. A gets reset. OpTic Gaming at 249.
2, make it 3 dead. And that will be the first game going to OpTic Gaming. They close out those final moments. And I've got to say, there was an element of control in that game that just felt like OpTic when they play their best Halo.
And if you were wondering if OpTic Gaming came to play, let that game number 1 be the answer. They outslay in the end 65-44 and outscore SSG 250-196 to, in the end, comfortably take game number 1 in a game that they trailed significantly and were underneath a punishing triple cap. They find a way to slow the bleeding right around the 180 mark as we take a look at some highlights from that fantastic game number 1. And as we said, absolutely outslay their opponents. How about Dead Zone? 21 kills, 10 deaths, 10 assists. Leads the team and the game in both kills and assists. Unbelievable from him.
Phenomenal. Game 1 coming in from Dead Zone is the reason they picked him up. Was to win a Halo World Championship, and even though they've been close to winning titles, major titles this year, they still are waiting for the big one. A performance like that from Dead Zone certainly going to feel the belief that's here for OpTic Gaming fans. On the other side, though, I need to point out a few stats because this is something we don't talk about very often. Stella, 8 and 17 in that game, shut down by OpTic Gaming. And I mean, Eco struggling as well, 9 and 17 for him. Quite simply, like you were saying, outslayed.
Truly outslayed, and not the numbers you expect to see from these players. On the other side, though, like we said, Dead Zone running away with the game. Come on, he goes more than double positive. Formal making plays like this in the late game. If you're hitting double kills like that, you're going to close out games. And OpTic Gaming starting with the way they intend to continue. It's a game 1 win, and they now take a 1-0 series lead. Most importantly, let's go back to the series layout, and what did we say? If OpTic Gaming can take game number 1, where they were heavily unfavored due to game type records, they now set themselves up for a very, very strong path through this first best of 7, because we essentially have even records on Slayer Streets as well as CTF Argyle.
The OpTic fans, with, like I mentioned, something to smile about here. Game 1 goes their way, but it is just the first step in that long path. But game 2, we're looking at the records. Wes was saying it on the desk. If OpTic want to go to that best of 7, the second one, the bracket reset, and like you were saying, it has to be done early here. They have to use the momentum coming off of that elimination bracket final win to start this series off hot. One man who didn't, like I mentioned, Stella. A little bit cold in that first game, but expect him, like I said a little bit earlier when we saw SSG on our screens, at some point he will heat up.
100%.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100
The key to victory there for OpTic Gaming was notice how they kept SSG on the spawn cycle. When they had 2 dead, they would get 3 dead, and inevitably in the feed, they would find their 4th and sometimes 5th kills. That was the key for them. They were dictating the pace of play. They were being the aggressors off of the advantages. They need to continue that here, not just in game 2, but through the entire series, because if you take your foot off the gas, SSG will come in, they will come hard, and they will end your tournament. They will steal away the Halo World Championship trophy. Can OpTic Gaming do it again? If they do, it's a 2-0 series lead. However, SSG, they're going to look to tie up the series 1-1. We're underway in game number 2.
Starting off with Dead Zone, why wouldn't you? What a performance it was from him in the previous game. It looks like this might be a little bit of a false start, so we'll get back into this game as soon as we can, but it gives us an opportunity to continue just talking about what we've seen. And one thing that I want to talk about is, SSG and OpTic Gaming, throughout the season, it's always been SSG who've kind of had the upper hand until SLC. That one series, the winners bracket final, where OpTic got over the line, I think would have given them just a little bit of belief, even though they went on to, unfortunately, not make it to that trophy lifting moment. Of course, falling to SG a couple of times in that grand final. Sometimes just believing you can beat a team once shows you that you can do it, and the man on your screen at the top of the KD leaderboards this tournament, Lucid, needs to lead the line for his squad.
Absolutely does. 1.25 at the Halo World Championship. Not easy to do when you have the best teams in the world here fighting for a $1 million prize pool. Quite a KD from him. Dead Zone, of course, also on this leaderboard. Worth noting, as we heard mentioned earlier, Legend, the only SSG player on this KD leaderboard, all the way at the bottom here. Still a top 5 performance, but you could just tell off that game 1, Lucid and Dead Zone are bringing a different level to this tournament.
One of my questions coming into this event, when we were talking about our predictions, right? I said it was going to be, I felt it was going to be an OpTic SSG final based on what we've seen this season. The reason that I was coming into this and saying I think it's going to be difficult for OpTic is someone has to match what Legend and Bound, even Legend and Stellar are doing in these big moments. The fact that they can be 2 dead SSG, but if one of them has a snipe, it becomes 2v2 almost immediately. Yep. Lucid has been that player for OpTic who can make that kind of magic happen, but who else is going to stand up alongside him to produce those magic moments for OpTic? Well, we've seen in that game number 1, and we've seen this tournament, the Dead Zone is stepping up to that mark when it matters. When they are in what looks like a perilous position on the map, somehow he's eking out a double kill, somehow he's getting that first pick. And I think if there's consistency coming in from Trippy and Formal, that he could be the man who steps up alongside Lucid to match the firepower that is on the other side of that stage.
Absolutely, let's not forget, look at Dead Zone on your screen. He had 11 kills when Stellar had 0. I know that sounds insane. I feel insane saying that, but that's where we were in game number 1. So I think we're gonna look for 2 things, right? Can Dead Zone keep that up? And also, how does Stellar bounce back? Because, like you said, it's not a question of if he heats up, it's a question of when he heats up. And OpTic Gaming needs to be ready for that as well. Fantastic game management all around, though, from them on the OpTic side in game number 1 to close that game out pretty comfortably in the end. Beating their opponents by over 50 points in a game 1 stronghold, where, as we said, they were not favored statistically. Setting us up here for a Street Slayer, game number 2.
One thing to just note from that first game as well, it felt like OpTic were the ones controlling that sniper rifle for the majority of that game. Keeping it out of the hands of the big firepower players on SSG is a surefire key to success for anyone, let alone if OpTic Gaming could put it to use themselves. And even though OpTic were not favorites in that game number 1, if you're looking at records so far this year, they certainly will be happy knowing that they have an advantage here, even though it's just a slender one in game number 2.
As we said, games 2 and 3 will determine likely where this series goes. If OpTic can take them, they'll set themselves up for a bracket reset. If SSG starts to pull away, it could be a pretty quick night for the green wall.
Game number 2 then, Slayer Streets. We've seen some fantastic Street Slayer games so far this tournament.
Yes.
Game 5s, Game 2s that have swung series back and forth, as Dead Zone, still, quite understandably, has his POV to start this one off.
If you're just joining us, 21-10 for this man in game number 1, unheard of in a grand final, and he's doing it.
3 dead off the rip here for SSG. Bound last alive,
4.
It's another kill. It's a 4-0 start here for OpTic Gaming. The opening strategy is perfect.
How about it? If you wondered what OpTic Gaming you were going to get here, and if they were World Championship ready, if they were Grand Finals ready, let game 1 and the opening of game 2 be another reminder that this team is here to play and here to challenge for the trophy. They lead 4-0, Lucid with the camo.
First kill here for Stellar in the game, first kill for SSG in the game, but Lucid has the opportunity here to sneak behind enemy lines. If he can find a little angle, if he can find someone to back smack, then that single kill can become a double kill very, very quickly. He knows someone's around, he can hear him. And as Dead Zone finds one, he'll find another, and 3 members of SSG hit the black screen once more, 7-2. This is almost an electric start from OpTic Gaming.
What a start here. It's been tactical. It has been surgical from them. A perfect opening, as you say. It's not easy to get a clean wipe on a game type like Street Slayer, a map that is so segmented. You can usually keep those deaths in check, but not when you're going up aggression like this. 9-5 now.
Great push coming in from SSG, by the way. Lucid finds himself as last alive, and it looks like Stella knows exactly where he is. A couple of grenades going to go his way. If they didn't know, they certainly do now. Bound finds that first pick, and all of a sudden, we have a game on our hands. Eco finds another, and the lead is now just 2. Stalker rifle also in his hands.
Nice shots coming in from Eco here with the Stalker. And that's exactly what you want to see. Yeah, it was an early lead for OpTic Gaming. It was 4-0, but right away, as you said, in the tug-of-war battle, unsurprisingly, Spacestation, they answer back. They bring the game back to 10-7.
Camo coming up as well in just a few moments. That's why the attention is being dragged towards bottom middle. Eco can lane with this Stalker rifle, so anyone who goes for it's going to be chipped away in half shields if he hits his shots. Interesting to see that SSG timed that push just before the camo came up as well. Something we see a lot of teams doing now.
Look at Lucid. Oh, Eco was ready for Lucid on the laundry, but Lucid with the fadeaway. Help from Trippy on pink as well. However, Stellar's right in the mix. Goes right around benches. Trippy with a very important kill. Even though he gets taken down, he essentially burns the camo. Surprising to see Stellar and SSG take that battle at Neons when you think maybe they didn't need to.
Yeah, you will happily take a trade if you're in that situation. You are the player without the camouflage and you see someone with camo in front of you. Get that thing out of the game. Make it a non-factor as OpTic Gaming now restore a 2-kill advantage.
Not a frag.
Legend learns that he's got spikes in his hand, not the frag grenades like you say, but it doesn't matter because he is outputting so much damage. Every single player on OpTic Gaming in the last 15 seconds has had their shields ripped away by Legend.
Unbelievable damage. I don't know how he stays alive, even with a little faux pas with the spike grenade. He's still just dealing out damage. Might even get this kill on Trippy as well. He can't be stopped. Like you said, he shot every single player on OpTic there, and in the end gets away with it. Game still within 2 here, 15-13 in favor of OpTic.
Lucid now trying to survive. His shields are broken. Trippy should be able to keep him alive for a few seconds. And now Legend, moving forward, looking to take an individual fight himself. OpTic laying that trap once more. 2 players here from SSG.
They know.
Trying to create something, and yes, indeed, they do know. If they can get out of this without a trade, it will be great. But Dead Zone's being a nuisance. And we'll at least get one for OpTic. SSG, though, bring this within 1 kill.
Dead Zone does very well to make sure he trades. SSG also does well to make sure that they do the back tower corner. The damage, though, output, as you said, from this man has been insane in this game. He's 5-3, but much more importantly, he has just been an absolute turret.
More damage, more kills. Will only be 1 as we trade it out almost immediately. 17-17 now as the camo becomes the point of focus once more for both teams.
Shroud down.
Should be a free pickup here for Rico. Oh, spooky time!
OpTic Gaming jumps right into the Shroud to neutralize the camo. They do lose the lead, however, for the first time in the entire game. SSG will now, off of the camo burn and the control that followed, take the lead 20-18.
Legend pushing forward, finding 1. OpTic a little bit trapped at the moment in and around the tower. Lucid takes to the skies, but the air gets in very, very quickly. And he'll run out of breath thanks to Stella. And the bandit shots that come in, another player going to be flying at him. It's going to be Trippy, but that'll be traded out almost immediately. You would expect. Eco gets that kill, and now we see a little bit of a gap starting to open.
Indeed, a nice kill coming in from Bound as well. Eco picks up a double kill. That brings Eco to 7-5. Legend is 9-4. And for the first time, SSG's up by 5 at 26-21. Let's get into a listen-in with Spacestation Gaming.
Dead in. I died 2, 3, 4 tower.
We can reset.
Yeah, I have to live on.
Check rank.
Watch over.
Be stairs.
Yep. Be stairs. 2 spikes.
Quick. One's weak.
Yeah, Brayden is hiding.
Get ready to fight driver.
Yo, drop it. One's B. They can be flanking your sheet. One's B. NB.
Pushing B out. He's in arcade. Legend. He's in arcade.
Watch it.
Arcade.
Get weak. Watch it arcade.
I flank me. You're low bound.
Stalker should be up there.
Bottom mid, trying to go me formal.
From where?
ATM weak.
He reposting this guy.
Push driver.
Yeah, they might. Nice.
They're gonna be bucket.
Yeah, we're coming.
Check
Ice cream, Legend, 2 ice cream.
Okay. Yeah, we can be.
Arcade weak. Yeah, on the wall.
B pillars. B pillars 1. Nice.
PD, should be PD.
I'm pushing PD out.
Could be PD.
You're gonna spend on shooting. It's gonna spend cafe or top.
What could be PD?
Oh shit, I'm getting out of here then.
Indy good. Go drive it. Break. Be real, legend. Be stairs, legend.
Be stairs. Let's go, legend. Okay, but what's that?
Look at me, man. I'm here,
Well, if you wondered how Legend's feeling, certainly know now. He picks up the triple kill in and around Arcade, and it was off the back of him just saying, push driveway with me, do some damage, I will finish the rest, and then the Stalker kill, superb.
Should be an OpTic camo grab, though, if I'm not mistaken, off screen. It is going to be Lucid there with the camo. He will get it. Dead Zone will also keep him alive. So just like that, we've seen 4 kill leads burned and exchanged now over the course of the past few minutes. Let's not forget, it was just SSG leading by 5 kills. And now off of this camo grab and the following kills, maybe even more, it's a 1-kill game now tied up at 33.
Such a good play from Lucid as well. The most important thing for him was to not get traded out, because if he does, he doesn't come back to Horn Eco, and he doesn't come back to potentially Horn Stellar as well. It's a double kill and a killing spree for Lucid.
This man is hot. As we said, he was the first one in the venue this morning, warming up, keeping that shot hot, and now it's paying off. They are up 35-34, and despite trailing by 6 just minutes ago, they are back in the lead.
Stalker rifle goes over to SSG though. Stella has it, I believe. Up on that balcony, Lucid just got hit by those bullets, those projectiles that will give him that information. SSG looking to slide out, maybe looking to formulate something on the pink street here, but Lucid has his eyes trained on it. Trippy's already hiding Cafe, so should be able to hold this one off for now.
Trippy able to engage. He's getting naded pretty heavily. He decides to advance down. It's a nice push from him. Looks like there's one more player benches. We'll see if they get that kill as well. Now 37-36, 2 dead apiece.
2 dead apiece. Legend still alive, but Trippy will take care of it. And the long-time duo of Trippy and Lucid get the job done on that P Street eventually. Now they're looking to chase down the damage of the remaining members of SSG. Formal will finish it before Lucid can get involved, when we are seeing now a gap in the favor of OpTic, as they are up by 3.
What a series of movement from Lucid. He goes B stairs because he wants to help with the driveway play. He knows that someone's going to come on caution and plants angle, somehow stays alive, comes all the way through Red Room, then goes driveway to come back and maintain the 3-kill lead. It's beautifully done, beautiful support coming in from Lucid.
Camo now, again, going to be something that could swing this game either way. Both teams just to a standstill. Everyone holding their breath. Shroud will go down. Bound is going to be in there to grab it again, but here comes the double push through the smoke, through the fire and the flames, but somehow Bound survives and he gets out with it.
You even saw the shards of the spike coming in. Lucid tried to shut it down, and now good damage coming in as well. How does Bound play this camo? They're down by 2. Big opportunity here. He picks up 1.
Formal going to chase him down. Bound gets the kill without being traded out, but there is Dead Zone to keep this game close. 2-kill advantage for OpTic.
As we said, these two teams came in with the same exact record in this game type. We knew it was going to be close. And it has indeed been close down to the final stretch. Legend, by the way, is 17-9 in this game, but they still trail by 2.
He dropped 19 a little bit earlier today. He's going to have to do something similar to get SSG back into this game. OpTic Gaming with control. OpTic Gaming with that lead, but it is so slender that one mistake could cost them this game. Trippy gets the kill though with that Stalker rifle. Dead Zone will fly down to trade it out. 4 kills now, the advantage for OpTic.
3 dead, 4 dead in the end. 47-42. Beautiful work. Look at Lucid taking the trash angle. He opens the path for Dead Zone to come down C stairs to clean up the kill on Neon side as well. That gives OpTic Gaming now a 5-kill lead, and only 3 kills away from closing out game number 2.
And OpTic have enough of a lead at this time as well to potentially have a little bit of room to make a mistake. They don't have to trade everything out. They can go, 2 for 4, something like that, and they get closer and closer, and it's just a case now of closing out for OpTic Gaming. SSG have to make the play though. OpTic is saying, you have to come to us.
We know how important Trippy has been historically to OpTic Gaming Slayers. He's 14-8 in this game. Unreal numbers in a game that they lead by 5. He's +6. As you said, with the way that OpTic Gaming is playing right here, you expect them to be able to trade, but all eyes on camo now. This might be a slow and delayed camo grab. Both teams know what's at stake.
Trippy looking for some angles with his Stalker as well. Push up a little bit, see if he can be someone who can get some damage. Does get the damage, does get out of dodge as well. A lot of information being gathered, and now with that information, with the push that came in, Lucid can move forward. 2 to go here for OpTic Gaming. Even though Stella found 1, Formal responded almost immediately.
Repulse as well. Keep an eye on that in the back pocket. That's going to be a get-out-of-jail-free card if he needs it. He can make a move.
Everyone from SSG is trapped. Legend goes down. It's 1 to go for OpTic Gaming. 49 kills on the board. The repulse up. Even though Stella finds 1, the 50th will be Lucid's. And OpTic Gaming will be up by 2.
talk about beautiful late game management across the board from OpTic Gaming. Every piece of that puzzle, when they were at the 43-41 mark, the team shot to get 4 dead, to get to 47 kills on the board. In the end, also the camo grab. The way that Lucid is able to pick apart kills at driveway, and the second he went front C, you knew he was gonna repulse up to take the express route up to the balcony, catch Bound off guard, and it brings OpTic Gaming to a 2-0 series lead.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of that game, and when we get to these grand finals, when we get to these Slayers, you can feel every single decision and the weight that it carries. How one decision can completely change the complexion of how this game looks. The opening strategy for OpTic Gaming, perfect. They get 4 kills without being taken down. They get that lead, but then SSG, they pounce off the back of a big play coming in from Legend, where they flip the lead in their way. But the final moments of the game, I think it's just the control and the patience of OpTic that allowed them to pick off 1 or 2 kills that gave them that cushion to feel comfortable.
Don't forget, it was 32-26, big from Lucid. Don't forget, this was 32-27 in favor of SSG. It's a 1-kill game at the 40 mark. But my God, the team shot, the teamwork, and look at Lucid just picking apart the kills that he wanted in the end. Gonna get a third-person angle as well on the balcony play. Look, Bound has no idea that Lucid's gone balcony, and in the end, they close it out 50-44. Mark, you put it perfectly. The thing that really sticks out there is 2 very specific active camo neutralizations coming in from OpTic Gaming. There was 2 pieces. First of all, Stellar on benches. He challenges Trippy and he forfeits the camo. It gets traded. The second time, they send 2 players bottom middle straight at camo, and they ape. They forfeit a 1 for 2 in the end, and they're happy to do it. And even though it cost them in the kills category, they shut down another SSG camo. And it's amazing prioritization of the camo, of the map positions they needed to grab the power up or deny it. And they take game 2 as well, leading 2-0 in the series, heading into Argyle CTF.
Well, if you're following the story from the desk to right now, the conversation was all about how OpTic needed to get the job done early. They needed to win the majority of these early games before we lean towards game types that favor SSG. This one is about as close as it gets. Look at the records of both of these teams on Argyle CTF so far this season. This is the entire season. Neither team has lost this game type, but one of those records will change in a few minutes' time.
I mean, perfectly fitting that this will be our game 3 in the series. And as you saw, just the tiniest edge for OpTic Gaming in terms of total caps. Overall, averaging 3 caps rather than 2. Is that going to be the difference maker? We'll have to see, but OpTic Gaming and the entire Green Wall, both fans in the building, as well as everyone tuning in from around the world, will be very happy to know that they've done the job in the first 2. And now a big opportunity here in Argyle CTF to maybe go up 3-0.
As the players step away for a few seconds for a bathroom break, they'll come back and join our main stage. And what a moment this is in the series. I mean, you're looking at map records, you're looking at advantages, you're looking for anything to see if there's going to be a pattern you can expect to see here between these 2 teams as we head into map number 3. And the fact that we are in this map number 3 with OpTic 2-0 up, knowing that Oddball's coming up next as well, which is their best game type in my opinion, and knowing that Formal in CTF has been playing like this,
I mean, come on.
you feel confident.
A 1.58 KD across all CTF games at the Halo World Championship. You get the feeling that Formal hasn't gotten the same spotlight he's gotten in prior years because of the repeated second place finishes this season. But when he's coming into a CTF game with a 1.58 KD, you expect him to be doing big things. By the way, got to give a shout out to everyone here in Seattle. It's been an unforgettable weekend. Of course, we are standing room only, as you'd expect each year at the Halo World Championship Grand Finals. Let's take a look at these 2.
This is CTF stats on the other side of the stage for Bound and Legend. Both of them over a 1.2 KD. Both of them with a huge amount of damage per minute. And it's Legend who does the majority of that lifting when it comes to running and capping those flags. I think the difference here for SSG is they need to get Stellar warm. They need to get that snipe in his hands and get him feeling comfortable to hit a few big shots. Stellar 12 and 13, which doesn't sound crazy in the previous game, but yet to go positive in the first 2 games. OpTic have completely neutralized him. And if you can do that, you are going to have success.
Not the stat you expect to see if you're an SSG fan. Stellar going negative in both games 1 and 2. By the way, also bound 7 and 16 in game 2. Eco also goes negative. Legend goes 17 and 11, but it was not enough. As OpTic Gaming, as we said, executing fantastic discipline. And I mean, if you shut down 3 out of the 4 players on SSG in any game type to make them go negative, that is a statement. And I think everyone's starting to realize that if you thought that this was going to be a predictable series, or maybe it was going to go the same way as we've seen them go before, think again. OpTic Gaming off to a hell of a start here in your first grand final.
The man who has learned a lot of lessons this year, usually pretty good ones. He's going to have to maybe step into a little bit of a role here to get his team rolling again. Legend, who has been an integral part of the success of SSG, now finds himself in a situation where everything this season has been pretty rosy for him. Right. Now it's a different situation where maybe he can spark SSG back into this series. Game number 3 is upon us. Argyle capture the flag. And an opportunity like this does not come along very often if you are looking to send us to a second best of 7 in this grand final. OpTic up by 2, but neither team this season has lost this game type, but one of them, that record's gonna change.
And OpTic fans getting loud here as a green wall chant emerges ahead of game number 3. And I couldn't agree more. You get the feeling with the veteran experience on the OpTic Gaming side, they're realizing the opportunity here that they are going toe-to-toe in a game number 3 with even records, that if they could take this game, they almost guarantee a series win, but they know they need to do it here. They don't want to make this a 2-1 series. Formal with the snipe off the rim.
Love the Formal went for the sniper rifle as well. He's so consistent at holding down lanes for OpTic Gaming, and also it's just the experience, it's just the bravery in these moments to say, give me that thing. I'm gonna pick this thing off the rip and I'm gonna hit some heads. Stellar, I told you one of the scariest sights in Halo, well, that's exactly it.
Formal versus Stellar sniper battle to open things up. We love a 2-snipe map, and I will take this battle any day of the week. Unsurprisingly, slow start here. Good damage coming in from Formal, and Legend says nope is the eject, and he zips right out.
Still alive, by the way, Legend. Here's the insta as well.
Still alive?
What? That's what he does. It's just what he does.
I don't know how he doesn't take nade damage. I don't think Formal knows how he doesn't take the nade damage. He steals the snipe out. Take a look at this. It's an OpTic Gaming sniper in his hands.
I wonder if it was the insta-splode from him that sent the other nade back. I don't know. We'll have to watch that one back, but Formal will finally get that kill. Stellar moves up to mid-map, though, and this is dangerous times for OpTic, but they managed to pick up the kills in and around their base. But here is a last alive player who will put numbers back on your side.
Oh, man.
Finds one, but Formal shuts him down.
Big kill from Formal there. Not only the revenge kill on the snipe, but he also gets the follow-up kill as well. It's just like you said, Mark. OpTic has to be careful. Stellar was the last player alive. He gets the first pick. He almost gets the second one. It took 3 separate players to take down Stellar as the last player alive. That's how dangerous he is. Formal back with a different snipe in his hands. We'll see what he can do with this one.
This game is being played inch by inch on the map. Everyone is worried about poking around a corner because they know their snipes at play. Stellar will find one to create a little bit of space here for Spacestation Gaming. Eco finds another, and now it's Formal's time to hit some shots, and he has to. Finds one onto Legend. Lucid finds another, and all of a sudden it's a little bit of calm now for OpTic.
Ooh, Formal is ready for it. Ooh, gonna be a pop for Eco. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Bound is still trying to poke and prod into the OpTic base. Formal's aware of it.
Good map presence here from SSG, though. Even though the shields are going to be broken, Formal now is going to be pinched. Manages to just about use the G-slide to get out, but Legend finds one. And OpTic are under pressure in their base, but there is Dead Zone again, just to quell those flames.
Finally, Dead Zone's taken down, but as you said, just absolutely shuts it down. Formal does not trade in the end. Trippy from the elbow will make sure the trade comes in. I believe that other snipe had a bit of ammo in it as well. Trippy with the first snipe. This is the way that Argyle's being played right here. I think the only word you can use is respect, right? Teams are trying to kind of very carefully and very conservatively poke into the enemy base, but it feels like both snipers on both sides, especially on OpTic, they're hitting everybody and often headshots as well. So it's been this beautiful back and forth with no one gaining an advantage so far.
Legend pushing onto the PCs, though. Maybe he can create a bit of space. One player who doesn't need to be asked twice to take an engagement and try and create something. Formal shuts it down, though, and now Trippy might have an opportunity just to step forward alongside his teammates. Dead Zone has a little poke on the engine. He knows that Eco's here somewhere. He's trying to bait him out for Trippy here. Dead Zone saying, come here, come here. Gets the kill himself. Trippy doesn't have to pull the trigger.
I mean, this is testament to it. How often have we been watching this game type from the snipe stand, looking down long haul? That just tells you how slow and how deliberate, methodical this game is being played, and both teams realizing what's at stake. This is a World Championship Argyle CTF being played very slow, very deliberate.
Stella's got the sniper rifle back, and he found a couple of kills himself. Somehow hits the body. What? In distance. But it was an important defensive play actually for SSG. They lost a couple of players, and Stella managed to, like you say, hit those shots, which is going to be a consistent theme to slow down the push from OpTic. This is one of the most tactical Argyle CTFs you're ever going to see. Everybody, like you say, playing with so much respect because they know what can happen if they lose these numbers.
2v2 on the map. It's going to be a momentary 2v1 in favor of SSG. You do get the feeling with the way the game's being played, the second something opens up and the second someone actually gets an angle, whether it's beautiful, gosh, the speed of that kill's wild from Stellar. He's going to look to do the same thing again. OpTic will pick up their sniper, but you get the feeling that the second something opens up, the game might blow wide open.
Grapple towards top middle. It's going to be Eco who finds a kill. But again, Stella just does not want to move forward, does not want to expose himself to OpTic Gaming and give potentially that sniper over to them. Dead Zone take it down. 2 dead here for OpTic, and now is the signal to push.
QT is down, so Stellar does have a get out of jail free card if he needs it, but in that case, he certainly does not. Instead, he's going to look for more kills around Engine.
Still has that QT, just about manages to get out of dodge. But Legend, off the back of the damage, will find 2. OpTic in a little bit of a chokehold here. Last 2 alive are on the elbow towards the sniper rifle. Dead Zone will pick up the kill onto Stella, but look at the base. Eco is flooding in the front, trying to get that flag moving.
2 dead for SSG. This is a dead pull. This is not happening here. Beautifully done by OpTic Gaming. They push out elbow side, and even though Stellar had a really nice timing on the QT back to top mid, in the end, it's OpTic Gaming holding their base, and part of that is OpTic's coordination. Part of that is the difficulty of aggression on an Argyle base. So after 5.5 minutes of play, we will stay netted up here at 0-0.
QT up in 20 seconds. Maybe that's going to be a little piece of equipment that can allow you to overextend and take a bit of a risk. Formal finds Legend. Hits that body, but nobody else from OpTic is actually in position to clean that one up immediately. So Legend will get those shields back, try to re-engage. As Formal looks on. Eco taken down, but elsewhere, off the back of the kill from Eco before he was traded, Legend is still alive. Gets bodied. Look at the flood now coming in from SSG, and it was all because Legend overextended and took that risk.
Beautifully done here by Formal, just holding ground on the vent. Knows exactly what he needs to do in terms of at least damage, and he's doing just that to keep them here. Gonna grapple right in to try to pick up a few more kills as well.
There's one. Doesn't know the Stella's there though. Stella with the sniper rifle of his own. He's gonna hit the shots. Doesn't get the finish onto Lucid though. And we have, once again, a stalemate as the defensive play is made.
Beautifully done from Formal as the last player alive. Hits the shots he needed and finishes the kills he needed. By the way, the teams are tied at 31 kills apiece. 0 flags on the board, just past the halfway mark. This is a dream of a game, a dream of a matchup between these two. Let's get into a listen in here with OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, I'm looking bottom middle. Yo, long me's in, pistol maybe?
Yeah, probably our left here.
I'm pushing.
Watch out right here, look at this right here.
Punching elbow. Two there.
Pushing
I'm here,
Joey.
I'm here.
Don't see
Watch out,
it.
frag, Stellar.
Close to you.
Come in.
Watch out then. Nice.
2 dead guys, 2 on 2.
Yo,
I have a
buy me
death cam,
screens.
I have a
Buy me
death cam.
screens.
Got me somewhere there.
Oh, he's frags. They're
I don't
close.
see
2 here.
Two on top, look at me, look at me.
They're both weak. They're both weak.
Really close,
Our
really close.
elbow sitting on the brick. Our elbow brick.
Snipers are coming too.
Turtle, you got not moving.
2 dead.
Look at bottom end for Joy.
Snipers at 15.
2 dead guys. Let's play for the yeah, he's still there. Watch out. Absolute their commando jump. Should kill this guy.
I killed him.
Yeah,
Tommy,
look
quick
at
snipe.
him. He sucked me. They're vent guys.
Okay, Quantum or
Sitting there, sitting there.
They're two.
grapples up on the 20, guys. Grapples up at 20.
Screen's weak. Legend.
Inside front.
Shut the screens.
Snipers down the front base.
They're snipers on the
They don't know,
front.
they don't know
They're
maybe.
gonna try to kill me. They're gonna try to kill me right now.
Look at long haul.
Yeah, they're
Snipers on
sniper.
front of the base. They're not.
Yo, they're vent.
I drop.
They know sniper. They know sniper.
They have numbers right now.
Yo, they're main really weak. They're main.
Yo, I mean E1, R1,
Bottom mid,
guys.
bottom mid.
I'm going back.
One shot here.
I'm going.
Absolute cool. One bullet R cool.
Watch out.
We got one. 3 on 3, 2 dead.
Yo, they're vent. Nice. They're vent and missing one.
Quantum is up.
Aping long haul the main room.
SSG 2 dead at the moment. Lucid with a sniper rifle in his hands. The first time we've really seen him with it for quite some time. Can he be the difference maker here for OpTic?
Got to be careful here. A lot of players on his screen, however, if they decide to turn his way, could be a pretty quick team shot coming in from SSG. Instead, it's Stellar, who hits a beautiful shot with a sniper rifle of his own. He's not done yet. The QT just saves Dead Zone. It was only 2 alive for both sides. We'll see how Stella rotates out of this. 3:32 left on the clock.
2 dead here for OpTic. Formal with an important kill himself. Formal now taken down. Lucid gonna challenge. Always a risk.
Here they come.
As we see SSG stepping forward into the base. Dead Zone with a defensive kill himself, trying to stay alive. But Stella all of a sudden, he's getting aggressive with his sniper. He only has 1 bullet left. That's why he's pushing into the base. He's not worried too much about losing this because of the lack of ammo. But it's OpTic again at the back of their base who clear it out successfully.
Stellar goes bottom base just to kill that dead zone kill that's bottom engine side. It's interesting though because it costs them quite a bit of time in the end. They get pinched from the engine side. They cannot get out of the back of the base. And really, as anyone knows who's played enough Argyle knows, you need to be so efficient with 0 time wasted on your Argyle pulls. And it looks like they just take a little bit too much time there to try to clear out the base. And OpTic Gaming takes advantage of that. And will still be netted up here at 0. Kind of a little bit of a base trade. 2 dead at the moment for OpTic Gaming.
I might be going crazy here, but I don't think at any point we've had a 3 or 4 dead on map. It's been a 2v2, 2v2, maybe 3 dead for a second, but an instant respawn. No one has had full control at any point.
Or Formal hits the body shots, for example, when he was the last alive in the vent, right? There's only been a few moments where we've actually seen 3 deads, but they've been shut down by either side repeatedly. 4 dead here.
4 dead for SSG. Right on, I'm trying, everyone.
We're manifesting here some advantages from either side. No guarantees. Of course, from us. 2 minutes on the clock. It's the 2-minute warning here. We'll see if OpTic can keep the aggression going.
It's the first 4 dead, but all it does is earn OpTic halfway up the map. Stella going to be challenging. Dead Zone is trying to buy time here. You can see he wants to wait for Dead Zone to come in on that flank and deal with Stella, but instead it's going to be Dead Zone who is taken down. Did he get that sniper off the map? That's the question. I think Stella was going for it. He's going to hit the grapple.
Whoop. Eventually gets taken down. Would have landed. SSG now. They did have 2 dead. Let's get into it late. Listen in here with SSG. See if they can get a pull going.
You get to go.
Go on,
Peter, go Peter.
And mogę pieces bien you pan.
Plasmas. They're long haul torpedo. Going our Peter.
Our top right now, 1 top left. Top right and top left. They're 2 are event.
Our frags the window. Frags the window.
2 are event.
And top left.
Pushing Kevin.
He got me. Our window right side, I think, guys. And our PCs. Our stickies, Braden. Getting our frag left. We have to live. Try and live.
I'll try our stickies. On our base, weak. We're dead. 2 dead, guys. Go grapple, maybe. Go grapple.
Elbow.
Yeah, one to like a elbow. One shield.
Our dead. Nice. That's 2 dead still.
Looking for 1 or no?
Zane.
I'm pushing that Peter.
On me one.
I think one guy on
He's on our base.
Yes, he's our back flag already. He has grapple unless it's us. He's lifted.
Watch that fight.
Nice shot.
Big wall shield. Yeah, one wall shield me.
Yeah, listen. Do we have grapple?
Yeah, I do.
Yo, minute left. Let me play sneaky.
Was it come out there listening? There was one moment in that last few seconds that we just watched where Bound had to hit the 5. If he doesn't hit the 5, OpTic probably run that flag.
Bound challenging from the back of the stairs on Argyle. That's not easy, especially when you have additional pressure coming your way. He hits the 5 shot on Lucid on the flag stand to keep them alive here. With 10 seconds left, you have a feeling we're going to OT.
2 dead though, on the side of SSG. OpTic are moving forward. QT out here from Formal. We are going to be going into added time here by the looks of things. No one in position to pull a flag on either side, so we will indeed go into overtime here. That was a grind between both of those teams to even get towards the base.
An absolute grueler, and by the way, OpTic outslayed in that first regulation round 63-62. Only 1 kill separating these 2 teams. My God, we knew this was going to be a closely contested game number 3, but this has delivered even more than I think anyone was ready for. We're into sudden death overtime. The first flag will win.
Who's got a little bit of magic in him here? Who's going to be the player to blow something open? Formal with the snipe, looking for Stella. I kind of like this from him. Does not fear Stella. Does not fear what he can do. Wants to take that fight. He knows how valuable it is. If he can pick Stella and that sniper rifle goes down, SSG lose a huge part of their setup. It's Dead Zone, he will fall first though. Trippy will answer back. But Formal is still looking for Stella.
2 dead on both sides. See what Formal can do. Lucid picks up a very important double, which leads to 3 dead for SSG. Is this the first bit of opening? Violent peeking, by the way, here happening from Formal. Just trying to make sure he wins a battle like this, but Stellar punishes him. With the first shot, makes quick work of Formal top mid.
Legend flies past Dead Zone. leaves him a little present behind, and still somehow manages to win a fight himself. So now Deadzone's going to worry about where he went. Eco going to be taken down. There's Legend with the repulse. There's a nade. Another one towards Legend. 1v1 turns into a 2v1 though, and it looks like after the scrap that happens in and around the coil, Spacestation find themselves on the back foot. OpTic trying to push forward, but again, the timing not just there.
Deadzone was ready for it there. Oh my! Also ready for that headshot. If he does this, that would be something else. Great damage still. Doesn't hit the shot with a snipe, but still very, very good peak damage on Eco. By the way, got to take note of Formal and Bound both on 24 kills apiece, as Formal registers his 25th here. 3 minutes left in overtime.
2 dead hit for SSG. 3 dead here for SSG. Stella is last alive, and OpTic are inside of the base, and Trippy is moving that flag. Now, keep your eyes on the kill feed. Legend will fall. In front of the base is Stella. If Deadzone can trade here or stay alive, this is a charge for OpTic to put the flag home.
Doesn't even trade here. Trippy already moving the flag as well. Bound is the only threat on the plasmas. Can he get there? He's flying in screen side.
Bound needs to make this play. He needs to be a hero, but the trades will come in. It's a 2v2 on the map. Formal with the snipe. Now just has to deal with Stella, who has to overextend the QT out. OpTic will pick that flag up. Stella can't stop it. Deadzone puts it in, and OpTic are up by 3.
It took about 16 minutes of Argyle CTF for one single flag to be registered. And in the end, it goes the way of the green wall. Formal goes 27-16 in a game that's decided by one overtime flag. And what did we say? It's performances like that that are going to determine what version of OpTic Gaming we get. And they now lead in the first best of 7, 3-0, 1 game away from resetting your Halo World Championship bracket.
Absolutely incredible. It's a game that you could see every single thought going through players' brains every single time that we went off their POV. They know how valuable a life is here on Argyle. They know how valuable keeping those snipers is. But when it came to overtime, it was the one opportunity that OpTic had. It felt like for the entire game, where they had 3 and then 4 dead and respawners as they had that flag moving. They do not make a mistake in that moment. So many teams may have felt the pressure in that moment, but OpTic get the 3 dead, they get the flag moving, and with the one opportunity they create, they win the game.
Undoubtedly one of the best Argyle CTFs we've ever seen, and you might make the argument that at the World Championship, as Deadzone brings that last flag in, that brought out the best we've ever seen out of either of these teams in this game type. 1-0 OT CTF Argyle win puts OpTic Gaming up 3-0, and we also have to highlight one more important stat line from that game. Deadzone goes 20-16. He's the only other player on OpTic to go positive, but most importantly, on top of that, leads the entire game in assists with 15. A huge performance from Deadzone and Formal, and perfectly fitting. These are the 2 men on your screen.
Incredible stuff coming in from these two. They really have stepped up for OpTic Gaming in this grand final. Huge amount of damage coming out of both, and it's the KDs from those secondary slayers on the team that really is contributing to the success and the space that they seem to have on the map. I mentioned that someone has to match some of the impacts that the likes of Stella, Legend, and Bound has on the other side of the stage. Eco's kind of the pivot for SSG. Well, these 2 gentlemen on your screen right now are providing the firepower that OpTic so desperately needed.
We're gonna continue talking about just how OpTic is shutting down the SSG players. This is not easy to do. They keep Legend negative in that game at 16-22. They keep Eco negative at 9-19. Stellar barely goes positive with a +2. And they outslay in the end 79-70 on the side of OpTic Gaming. So if you tuned in and you thought, maybe OpTic Gaming's just got kind of gas early on in the series, okay, maybe they did it in the game too as well. I think a lot of non-believers might be starting to believe that this is a different OpTic Gaming than you have seen all season long. Now, the job's not done, and as we know, the later game types in the series, they still await us. OpTic cannot afford to drop this ball game. If they do, we get deep into SSG's best game types in the series. So even though they're up 3-0, we have to remember they need to do it early. They need to make sure they close it out right here and right now.
Both figuratively and literally, OpTic cannot drop the ball here. This is their chance. They have a huge advantage when it comes to their record compared to SSG in this next game type. Oddball recharge has been good to OpTic. Oddball in general has been very good to OpTic so far this season. And if it continues to be good, we will be going to a second best of 7.
And we're just hearing as well, OpTic Gaming on a 4-game losing streak in ball, SSG on a 7-game win streak in ball. So if you were hoping that this series might go a little bit longer, that's going to be music to your ears. It's 3 dead for OpTic Gaming, 4 dead for OpTic Gaming. Triple kill for Eco. Ball grab, camo in hand as well. They've got all the goodies to play with, and it's a great start for SSG.
Maybe Eco can just get the troops moving a bit here. Trippy gonna challenge. Eco gonna hit the shots. Formal now. He might be next. Avoids the headshot, but certainly has the shoulder shave, but this time it is the headshot that connects. It's a killing spree off the rip. Eco looking to take over here.
Taking over indeed. Beautifully done. He dodges that grenade on glass that came from Formal on the stacks. He pokes back out to get the second kill as well. Even gets more damage on Trippy. A little bit of deja vu. Trippy's still on the A ledge and gets taken down yet again in the same spot. 25 early points on the board here for Spacestation in round number 1.
Finally, OpTic managed to break through. Formal, he's going to be the aggressor here as he picks up that ball on SSG. Will find themselves 2 or 3 dead and a couple of players coming off the respawn. So Formal's going to bring this one back. Or is he? Gets absolutely cut down at the path.
Interesting there. I think Formal, you might have seen it in his player cam, but I think he was doing a little bit of teammate screen watching to see where the push was coming from. Doesn't move the ball fast at bottom goal. Typically, you'd see a toss there, but he actually gets cut down. And Legend, by the way, just scoops the ball out. So a little bit of a breakdown there on the OpTic Gaming side.
He managed to reset momentarily as Trippy will get the odd ball in his hands, and SSG will again find themselves 2 dead. The Stella outputting a huge amount of damage. Look at those shots coming in from Formal. Through the smallest of crevices through the turbine. Towards the Mangler pit. But now it's going to be OpTic with 3 deads. SSG have broken. Where's that oddball fallen? Straight back into their hands. The grapple will help.
Nice little grapple there as Camo's popping. Let's see how they play this one. Stellar is in a great position, so is Bound to neutralize this Camo. This is going to be a very important, keep an eye on the kill feed, very important series of exchanges. Formal goes in with the Shroud, and he sneaks the Camo out despite SSG's angles.
Has to play this one carefully though. It's always risky to jump into the pipes. Look at the camo wires coming in though. Stellar, it's Bound. They're going to challenge and they take the camo out of play. OpTic 2 dead and Legend continues to hold that ball.
Beautifully done there. Talk about neutralizing a camo play. Formal thought he had all the time on bats. He gets absolutely mowed down. And as a result, Spacestation will go now into a 40-point lead at the 60 mark.
Always getting the first pick at the moment, it looks like SSG. You can see Dead Zone in the moment. He's just trying to find someone to put damage onto, but nobody from SSG is showing until you step through one of these chokes. And then all of a sudden, it's not just one bandit that's on you, it's 2 and a back smack. 3 dead here for OpTic, and SSG have woken up.
SSG triple stacked on Elevator, by the way. They should get this last kill as well, you'd imagine, on Formal. They do. That was 4 dead. A staggered 4 dead, but it will be very good control of Elevator coming in from SSG. And even though they tried to get away OpTic Gaming, tried to fly into Elevator, they did not know they were going to run into a triple stacked SSG there. Here comes the second push.
He can actually try and get out of Elevator here. He's not going to be able to. Trippy forces his way through the turbine and finds a double kill, and that will be Lucid now picking the ball up as Bound and Co have to retreat back to the tower and wait for the rest of the team to spawn. Trippy with a good trade inside the tower just to make sure Bound's left on his own, and OpTic Gaming now have to set up themselves.
Big signs of life here from SSG, you might say for the first time in this fashion. Good Dead Zone, by the way, from the dumpster. A beautiful little peek against Bound. He'll win that battle, maybe give a chance for OpTic to push out of it, but overall SSG looking very good. They're outslaying 26-19.
Little Shroud going down in around Turbine as well. I'm not sure if that was OpTic or SSG, but whatever it was, it just Scarpers whoever wants to challenge for that ball. Beat down lands.
Oh man.
And
Barely
Legend
any
will pick
damage.
up another. I was going to say, Legend picks up another kill without taking any damage and turns it into 2. 78 points, by the way. Legend has at ball time, and he's also double positive.
That is why we make a big deal out of plays like that. Taking almost no damage in that first 1v1 paves the way for them to get 4 dead. It paves the way for Camo, and now the final 10 points of round number 1.
SSG look like they might be waking up here. Teammates going to help. Lucid goes down as well. It's 2 dead for OpTic Gaming. It's 100 points on the board for SSG. They first round here in Opal.
Eco, by the way, in that first round, 11-6. A big bounce back performance from him. See if he can continue it here in round number 2. As we said, the win streak for SSG indicating that they have the upper hand here. The losing streak for OpTic Gaming indicating that they need to find something and dig deep to get back into this game involved.
Well, Legends is starting to take over this game a little bit, and SSG have woken up. Let's jump into the comms now and see how they're reacting after that first round win.
Red kill me. I don't remember. Top red kill me.
He's weak.
It's up again.
Last week and
you're good.
one shot bats.
L1 going
Oh,
R1.
Trippy, Trippy, you going bottom mid.
3 bats.
Shady, go up in bottom beer.
Maybe play this.
Bottom mid. Bottom mid, weak. 50.
Bottom tower as well. Bottom tower. Bottom tower.
Honeywood.
Enemy has the ball.
Alright, 2 on ball.
Grand tower, Trippy.
Working bottom mid. He's 2 in.
Trippy's back C. Trippy's going...
2C, 1 in.
I went half ball.
One spear, just 2 in.
Yeah, one top shady.
One top here.
Run back to ball. Yeah, ball's in a good spot for us. This is good. Trippy.
Yo, C plat.
Simon top cat.
Triple stack.
That's next, please. 2 shots.
Kill that guy.
One shot top tower. Keep living.
Tower.
No, he legend.
One shot long.
Spawn grab.
Sticky. So he was...
AP you weak. Triple stack weak.
Could be in it, one.
Suck triple stack, Kevin. One shot.
Bottom mid, top mid, Trippy.
Hear that.
Maybe Thor, Top A shot in one.
He's alive.
Bottom mid. Nice. Fuck that.
Last shot weak.
Have grapple.
One shot glass, guys.
Once he played. I got ball.
To long or what?
Yeah, long, 2.2.
Long on now. I shot you.
I think top here. Good, they can go bottom mid. Make sure they pick it up.
Well, it is going to be Eco, who stepped up right at the start of this game. Remember, he got that camo, went on a little bit of a spree that led to the run from Spacestation Gaming. Well, he's continuing that kind of momentum and that form as he goes on another little spree here, controlling the cross-map angles with this BR in his hands.
OpTic Gaming have done well, though. Let's keep in mind, when we got into that listening, it was 4 dead. It was camo control early on for SSG. And now somehow the game is still just tied here at the 20 mark. So OpTic Gaming, despite being pretty just not favored in that scenario, they somehow stay alive, and now they actually go into a lead in this game.
Camo being effective here for Formal. Should find a second kill once a Legend, although he's peeking and prodding. Finds 2. Gonna be challenged with 3, thanks to Formal. The work that he does now. Trippy flying inbound doesn't fall though, and it won't be a trade going his way. Deadzone's trying to fly in, but that keeps the ball out of the hands of OpTic comfortably. 1 kill can make all the difference.
What a big win there from Bound in a battle that you thought you would at least see a trade out of from OpTic. Instead, Bound stays alive at back elevator, and to be honest, it's the worst position he could be in on the map for OpTic Gaming to still be alive back here. You can just tell how he's absolutely holding down not just the spawn, but also the pipes angle, and they continue to bait the ball in Whirlpool. Keep an eye on the kill feed.
This might potentially have a little bit of an issue in the game as Trippy finds 2. It is unfortunately going to be 1 player falling out of the game, but essentially a tie game, a tied round here in round number 2, as it was, of course, the first round going over to SSG. We'll get back into that as soon as possible, but how important is that first round for SSG, right? I mean, huge. If that goes the way of OpTic Gaming, I think we're moving into the second best of 7.
Well, I think so too, and as we said, it's not just signs of life, but signs of things to be quite excited about for the side of SSG. It was a dominant round 1 win. Gotta say though, during the listening, you and I were commenting to one another, very low-scoring second round. Despite clear advantages for SSG, OpTic Gaming not just kept that one close, but actually took the lead at the 21-point mark in round number 2. So when we get back in, you have to think it will, of course, be 1 round to SSG, but we probably will see just maybe a few-point lead, a very small margin maybe, in the second round lead for OpTic Gaming, but pretty fresh start in the second round.
As soon as we know the results of the restart and how we're going to start off, we'll let you know, of course, at home and in the arena. But for SSG, there was just something started to click a little bit in that round, you felt. A couple of shots started to be hit, a little bit of teamwork started to come in. Eco was the player who really did lead the line for them as well. And I think when you're looking at the SSG lineup, you're looking at the experience in these big moments, these Halo World Championship moments. He's probably the player on this team right now who has that experience and also kind of that calming presence just to say, hey, we've got a lot more Halo in front of us here. We haven't lost anything yet. Let's fight our way back into the series. We know the back end favors us, where we got some more favorable game types that we've had success on. Let's win this Opal, and let's see what happens.
Also worth noting, at the time of the reset, SSG outslaying 52-43. Two players that were really popping off were going to be Stellar and Eco, both 16 kills apiece, clearly leading not just the team, but the entire game. Stellar was 16, 12, and 12. Eco had been 16, 11, and 7. So both of them positive 4 and 5 respectively. And of course, a big factor in their lead so far in the game.
It's beautiful artwork. Both Formal and Lucid.
It was.
More talent than I have. I would not want to draw a picture of them to show anyone, because I don't think it would do either of them justice.
No. Speaking of doing them justice, the numbers that they have put up in this series so far, even though we just saw a pretty one-sided round of oddball, let's not forget it's OpTic Gaming, as you see on your screen, leading 3-0 in this grand final. And I tell you what, I think everyone here in Seattle and anyone joining us online as well is thinking, we've already gotten pretty good series out of this one. You might have thought, based on how SLC went, that this could be SSG making quick work of OpTic Gaming. It has been anything but so far.
We're hearing from the station referees and the people who are far more important than we will ever be. The restart is going to be one round, of course, on the board for SSG, and it will be a 26-21 lead on the side. By the way, the Netto original.
By the way,
While She Is My
Homeboy shirt
is a relic.
Not kidding. That shirt is about 15 years old. So big shout out to our man in row number 4 here for holding it down with a While She Is My Homeboy shirt. That thing is a classic.
Oh, it's ruined.
Look at all
GB's written on it.
Look at that. We've got a Heinz signature there. A Walshy signature himself as well. That thing is an absolute relic, as you say.
I know.
Mark is getting a painful reminder that when he gets home, he needs to actually go to the gym.
So hard.
That was, yeah, we didn't need that just now. Look at this beautiful room, a beautiful stage here at the Halo World Championship, a packed house, as we said, and give it up for yourselves here. It's been an unforgettable championship Sunday, and as you could tell based on the scoreline, we're only just getting started. It's been all green wall, and as Blaze said on the main stage, they wanted to lay it down brick by brick. Well, there's 3 bricks on the series layout so far, and they're looking for their 4th.
Really should get to the gym.
Don't let that, don't dwell on that, man.
That's me, man.
He didn't know, he didn't know.
I think it was targeted, personally. But you are completely right. If OpTic Gaming want to send this to second best of 7, you don't get many better chances than this. The first 3 games, although they were so hotly contested, OpTic managed to close out the big moments. Now they find themselves, probably for the first time in this series, you would say, on the back foot. Down 1 round, down a couple of points, up a couple of points in this second round, but essentially a tie game.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that I was talking about historically how Oddball has been a pretty good game type for OpTic Gaming. Well, that stat came in as like about their recent record. I don't know if they've been found out. I don't know what it might be. Sometimes you see a team who remember Quadrant when they went on that crazy run on Strongholds, and everyone started studying what Quadrant would do. I'm sure that OpTic are finding something similar now with their Oddball. Everyone is focusing in on it, and speaking of focusing in, that's what it's about, right? That's about why these players put in this time, why they really do commit to the hours and hours of practice, the scrims, the travel, whatever it might be. The relocation of home for a lot of these players as well.
Yeah.
To lift that Halo World Championship trophy, take home the lion's share of $1 million. Well, thank you for bearing with us, everybody. It looks like we're ready to get back underway here in Seattle with a little bit of recharge, Oddball. 3-0, the series score for OpTic Gaming, but down by 1 round here. After the restart, they do have a very slender lead in this second round, but that could all change in the blink of an eye.
It really could, and we'll see if they can extend that lead, maybe tie this game up with a round apiece, send us to a sudden death. Round number 3, that's the question as we're back underway here, and it's worth noting that it has been 399 days since OpTic Gaming hoisted a trophy in the Halo Championship Series. And they're looking to change that here tonight. 4 dead, though, off the opening. Spacestation picking up exactly where they left off, and they're already back in the lead.
And Eco not only picking up where he left off, but picking up the camo for the 2nd time in a row as well off the rip here. Trades are going to be good at this point, as they can keep that oddball away. It's Legend again who goes in to collect that oddball. Eco just trying not to show presence at the moment. He's not too worried about making a big play at this point because he knows that at some point OpTic have to be baited in by that ball.
Legend may be playing the ball here. You would imagine so. He does play the ball. You can just tell by the speed at which he was G-sliding that he had one thing in mind. He gets back-whacked, though, at mid-bridge, though. Formal with a very important back-whack and a very important double. Maybe a triple!
Triple! double for Formal, and all of a sudden the great start that SSG had has been ripped apart thanks to Formal. They get the oddball back in their hands, and they try and move towards Pipe to clear the path for him.
Love this from Formal as well. He just grapples out of Whirlpool just to play that safe. Does not want to go on the long haul cross just in case Legend drop down from glass. And they pick up the 5th kill as well. This is big. They're paving the way for continued control. Oh my.
Killing spree for Formal, but gets taken down alongside 2 of his teammates thanks to the stick coming in from the heavens. 31-47. Legend will collect that ball as OpTic now have to regroup.
What a big stick from Eco on the way down elevator. That's not easy to do. But as a result of it, they now have control of elevator once again, and they're going to try to funnel them through pipes and Whirlpool.
There's Formal, gets that first pick again, and now the flood's going to come in. They've got that space to move into. Legend trying to rotate away and find a position to play that ball out, but it's going to be 4 dead. Bounce has come off free spawn, and OpTic keep that ball inside of tower as well. So now they can wrap this back away from the spawn of SSG towards blue, and we might be pretty close to a tie game here.
That is not easy to do. They had to fly out of pipes, and they had to make a 2-man push on Whirlpool immediately. However, that push not only leads to ball control and essentially a tied game here at 50, more importantly, it's also Formal with the camo as the ball gets played.
3 dead hit for OpTic. Formal last alive. Legend with the alley-oop. Throws that ball up to Bound. But Formal still has that camo! Let me rephrase that. Had that camo. And now is searching for every area above his neck.
How many times have we seen iconic moments relating to the shock and the camo and Formal on recharge? Bound with an unbelievable play as the ball carrier drops and shoots and burns the camo. Now they're scoring here at the 74-point mark.
Now they have quite the considerable lead. Shock rifle still to play with, lots of ammo here for Bound as well, and when he hits a shot like that, he usually just gets the confidence going. Not that he needs much.
That kill was worth so much more than it might just appear. In the damage on everyone, by the way. Finally gets taken down. 3 were dead. Legend was your last player alive. He should be killed. No trade, by the way. That's big as well.
3 bodies getting hit by Bound there, but not connecting with the headshot, and everybody else on SSG had already been taken down. Now it's Formal's go with this shock rifle. We'll find 1 kill, but Trippy with that ball is trying to run away towards glass. Eco's going to cut him down. It's 4 dead for OpTic. Lucy's just come off spawn. He's being 4 here by Legend. He gets that kill, and now SSG will wrestle control of that ball away once more.
It's 77 on the board. This might be the last push for OpTic Gaming. And even though Formal has double the kills of anyone else in the game at 12 and 5, only 15 points to go for Spacestation to close it out.
That's such a big kill, though, coming in from Trippy. Now he's trying to chase the ball down. He should be able to get some damage, but he knows there's multiple players still alive here. He needs to kill that oddball. Deadzone will get the kill. Bound will go down as well. It's a 2v2 momentarily, although OpTic all of a sudden have 3 on the map. Legend and Stellar are last alive here for SSG.
Need to work together. Stellar gets
Stellar.
1 big kill with the first insta.
Stellar! He gets 2! He gets 2! And somehow shuts down the push coming in from OpTic Gaming. SSG will grab that oddball, and we are going to be tied up here at 1-1. A 2-0, sorry, excuse me. They will get their first game on the board. It's Stellar with that big play that solidifies things.
Wow, a play like that from Stellar on the sneaky to hit the insta, getting not just 1 kill, but 2 kills. How about Bound just shutting down Formal? Just when you think OpTic Gaming, they get 4 dead for the first time in the reset, they push out of stacks, Formal's got camo, and you think, okay, here's an opportunity for OpTic to get back in the game. Instead, Bound drops the ball, not only gets the double kill, but also neutralizes the camo completely and continues holding the ball on glass. They make quick work of OpTic in your game number 4 and start to claw their way back in the series.
Yeah, apologies to SSG fans there. It was the go to the gym sign. It's still playing on my mind. I need to get that one out of the back of my head, but it is SSG who answered back, and all of a sudden, we have a series on our hands. You might be looking at this if you're just joining us and going, well, you know, it's only 1 game on the board, but knowing what we saw in that map layout, the series layout, knowing what's to come and how it favors SSG historically, we have some more Halo to play here, and OpTic will know that more than anyone.
And you have to start to ask questions about momentum. I think for the fans of the green wall, brilliant triple here, by the way. After that triple, that's when Formal managed to get the camo as well. And here's the play, and I'm so glad we're going to see it.
Oh.
Formal decides to shoot there. And look at this play as well. Bounds just staying alive, long haul. This is what I mean. Look, insta from Stellar. Trippy tries to challenge as well. Stellar hits the PC jump off the monitors perfectly to get the double kill, paved the way for SSG to win 2 rounds to 0, despite Formal going 12-6 in the reset. SSG prevent the sweep with an oddball recharge as we get ready for Slayer on live fire. And to be honest, we should look at game time records of these last 3 games, because that could get pretty big on these next few.
Well, let's take a look at some of the live fire Slayer stats from this season for both teams. Both teams with the same amount of losses, but Spacestation with more wins. The average margin for both teams in those wins is pretty much exactly the same. There's not much between them, as you would expect.
It feels like, just like as we were going to go into Argyle Slayer, neck and neck on the stats board, which is how you want us going into each of these game types. And it's unsurprising with our #1 and #2 ranked teams all year long. Let's take a look at the bar graph, because as we said, it starts to go one way. Oddball recharge was heavily favored for OpTic Gaming. As we said, and as you heard all night long on the desk, this needed to go 4-0 for OpTic if they wanted to avoid the absolute gauntlet that awaits them in the last 3 game types. But that's where we have arrived. They do not win their favorite game type. Instead, we go to Live Fire Slayer, where SSG is favored. And if SSG wins each of these, they continue to get deeper into territory that will favor them statistically.
One thing to keep in mind, but maybe it's just going to be a little bit of solace. Firstly, you're up by a considerable margin in the series. Secondly, you won the game #2. That was the last time we saw this game type in the series on Slayer. Live Fire Slayer, again, I mean, just look at the records, right? Same amount of losses, and 2 of the players who are on those iconic banners here in Seattle will be looking to be the players to make a difference. If it's Stella, who is the one that we're talking about at the end of this game, then you know this series ain't done yet. However, if it's Lucid we're talking about, we're probably thinking about a series reset.
Take a look here at some stats from Stellar. Bracket pool versus pool play here at the Halo World Championship.
And when it gets to the bracket, this man takes over. Look at that KD in bracket play, 1.21. Been a bit of a quiet start to the series for him. But the kills per minute thing is something that always jumps out to me. That means that Stellar is engaging with just multiple targets. It's never just one. It's very rare that you'll see this man on your screen, and the same could be said about everyone on this stage at this point, but he is so exceptional at finding an initial kill and immediately responding within a blink of an eye to a call out to another player's position and contributing towards another kill to follow it up and create so much time for SSG to do what they want. It's one of his most brilliant skills, I think, apart from that, of course, insane individual ability he has when it comes to the reticle placement and how he quite simply hits heads. So Stella just has this ability to take in so much information and make those decisions so quickly. And he's gonna have to do that right now for SSG if they want to keep this series going and prevent the bracket reset.
And the key for OpTic Gaming in this game, once again, will be to be the pace setters. You cannot allow SSG to start to gain momentum, not just in the series, but in the games themselves. And OpTic Gaming needs to remember how they got to this point in the series, right? Winning the first 3 in dominant fashion across them. And fantastic overall game management, and also just being the aggressor in so many of the situations. And the second they start to take the foot off the gas and let SSG dictate how the games are going to play, they will find themselves in more and more trouble. The question is, what kind of momentum does SSG have after that game #4?
One thing we can take away from that game #4, though, is SSG pretty dominant in it. And when you were looking at the records, like you say, OpTic Gaming were the favorites when it comes to performance so far this season. But SSG being able to take that and win a game type like that in the way that they did, it really does change things here for them, because they would have been going, we can't get 4-0'd. Let's just focus on not getting 4-0'd this first series before we maybe look ahead to a bracket reset. Now you get that game on the board, the mind starts to think about, let's win the next 3.
Exactly.
Let's win the Halo World Championships here. Let's not even think about a bracket reset and playing some more Halo. No more Halo than we have to play in this situation. All of these things you don't see and you don't feel in the gameplay, but you certainly do feel as a player sat on that stage.
And for fans of the Green Wall, I think they're maybe going to find a little bit of comfort in that. Like we said, OpTic Gaming came in on a 0-4 ball streak, whereas we had a 7-game win streak for SSG. And OpTic Gaming fans might be thinking, okay, that one was not our game in the series layout. That was never our game. But we're now back into live fire. And despite statistically this leaning towards SSG, as we know here, at the Halo World Championship, and for that matter, any given Sunday, anyone can take a Slayer. If OpTic Gaming wins it, we go to a second best of 7. If SSG wins it, we stay alive here in the first grand final.
Will we be talking of bracket resets, or will we see this series continue? A huge moment in this grand final is in front of us right now. As we see the man who hit that crazy, crazy shock rifle shot that really did close things out for SSG in that last game. But what a trepidatious start this is. Nobody wants to be the first death.
No kills recorded at all until Camo pops. It's almost unheard of. Finally, a few kills will go the way of OpTic Gaming. And Bound is pushed all the way back. As Legend and Stellar get taken down, this should be a camo for OpTic.
Where did the sniper go? That's the question. Are they going to be able to grab this and put it into the hands of the player who has the sniper rifle? Dead zone. He's going to be the player who gets the power up. And it's a slender lead with Formal with the sniper.
Memories of Argyle here. Very, very slow, and once again, very deliberate opening start here. Nobody wanting to give one another an inch. Look at Dead Zone even. It has to be said, he's been popping off in this game, but just slow playing this camo at 3-2.
Formal's in some good shots with that sniper rifle a minute ago as well. He's only 1-0, but hit a few bodies. Camo's going to disappear. Stella's going to be challenging. Dead Zone does a good job to output damage without taking too much himself. Trippy is there to clean it up, and we are seeing a 4-3 lead now for OpTic.
Beautiful baiting and switching. Somehow Dead Zone stays alive through it as well. Trippy now trying to make something happen back tower. It was a very nice bait and switch on the pillar door. We'll see if they can continue the push.
Here's Legend looking for that trade. Not going to get it this time around. 2 dead on either side at the moment. Make it 3 dead. Eco is last alive. Trade will come in almost immediately. So Spacestation stuck on the respawn! And that is what it feels like to go up against Formal and Killtacular in a grand finals!
What a time to do it! Formal killing 5 players in a 4v4 matchup for the Killtacular.
Well, if OpTic fans maybe were a little bit disheartened about what they saw in that previous game, Formal has just given them something to feel good about. What a moment that is, and what a moment that could be in the context of our grand final.
Absolutely.
A Killtacular.
Absolutely unbelievable. Unsurprisingly, the green wall with a big let's go OpTic chant here as they lead by the kill tack. They lead by 5. And you have to think it's not just 5 kills on the board. That is momentum for OpTic.
Absolutely incredible. Trippy now. We'll find another. Eco trades it out though. 2 dead here for OpTic Gaming, and Spacestation have got a camo. Oh, had a camo. Dead Zone pops him on top of the head.
How good has OpTic Gaming been at shutting down, on streets as well, at shutting down the power-ups? Just when you think SSG is about to pull away and use the power-up to secure maybe a comeback, somehow OpTic finds a way to neutralize that power-up. Huge credit has to be given to Lunchbox and the entire team for making sure they're always on top of where those power-up players might be going.
SSG probably a little bit shell-shocked and rattled after what they just experienced thanks to Formal, but now they're starting to find their way back into this game. It's a 1 kill difference, and it might be more in just a few seconds, or should I say even less. We might have a tie game because Dead Zone is no shields. Legend gets the kill, and that should secure the sniper rifle going to them as well.
Quite a bit of buddy system here. 2 players on top mid. That will allow Bound to grab the sniper rifle. Legend will go concrete in the end, but it was also a buddy system being used at tower. SSG really staying in packs of 2. They still trail by 1 here. Make it 2. That was 3 dead. Bound was your last player alive, but he's got the snipe in hand.
He's also got a lot of pressure about to hit him.
Oh my God.
What in the reaction time? Absolutely insane shot coming in from Bound to keep the weapon in his hands and keep SSG close.
Regardless of how this game goes, we are going to have to see that one back. An unreal shot in the cuts. It's 22-21.
Tie game. A tie game here once again. Nothing separating these 2 teams. It has been so close every single match, every single game, and every single fight. Lucid will be the player to give OpTic a slender 1 kill advantage.
And as we said, these will be some of the most intentional and at times slow-paced matches you will maybe see the entire year, just because you've got the lion's share of $1 million on the line, as well as the World Championship trophy. As we said, things will slow down as Bound tries to find the first pick.
Lucid learns where the snipe is. Bound gonna be under pressure here. SSG a little bit trapped at the moment. Trades come in, but they're not gonna favor SSG here. OpTic are flooding through. Formal finds 2 again, and he will find himself a snipe. It's 4 dead again for Spacestation, and the biggest lead we have seen at any point in this game.
Huge swing. Good pressure though on sandbags. Formal does body 1. Lucid's gonna have to bait and switch to see if he can help on the bags, and he does. It's a very, very nice, once again, bait and switch from OpTic Gaming. Not the first time we've seen it in this game, however, they will lose 2 in the exchange.
Formal does escape though, and Denso got the camo. So they've got the snipe still, even though they lost the fight, even though they lost the battle. They got the power up, they got out of there with a sniper rifle, and even though Formal has gone down, we have a little bit of a dummy dance going on. And it's gonna be Legend who wins it. So SSG, even though they didn't get maybe the kills they wanted or the players they wanted, will neutralize both the sniper rifle of Formal and the camo that was picked up.
It was a 4-kill lead. OpTic, as you say, had sniped and they had camo. Somehow SSG keeps the game within 2. Let's see if they can get right back in this. It's a listen-in with Spacestation Gaming.
Top A and green.
Green.
White box, top A and green.
We have a sticky for this?
Heading up.
Watch out, sticky. Watch out, sticky. Watch out, top mid. Training, watch out, training coming.
One shot kilos.
Yeah, combo on me. Combo weak.
Wave snap. Come on, lift.
Wall close.
No, he's not.
Good. Two shot white wall.
Come back to A with time, back to A.
What's back there?
Yo, we should run around.
If we go top mid, probably.
I'm here about, I'm here.
I'm pushing on this.
In A.
Let's go. Come on.
Killed me. He's two shot. Sniper down Keydor, guys. Guy, he's picking it up. Go. Try to pick it up. Nice.
Small.
Yeah, he's stuck. Watch out, fall.
Body grace.
Could be on it.
No.
Hiding right on me. Weak rat. Watch out, rat.
Watch him.
Watch out, rat.
Des.
I don't know.
That's one shot.
That's
That shot, nice.
that green probably?
I have sniper.
Best one.
Is it green? Yeah, it's green.
Spawn with you, Kevin.
Help him.
Oh my god!
Nice, where?
I'm going bottom.
Hey, watch out, Keydor. Big Keydor. Go, weak small.
What is Legend doing? He picks up this sniper and completely takes the game over. 37-32, and SSG are back in this.
I think he surprised even himself there. I love how he already hit a bunch of brainers, and minutes later he tells his team, by the way, I have sniped. Unbelievable to stay alive back green through all of this, and just like that, SSG's up 41-33. Before the listen-in, OpTic Gaming was leading by 4.
Legend has 16 kills to his name. Formal, gonna challenge, gonna body, gonna lose it. Camo's still available here. It's 17 kills for the Frenchman.
What is he doing? He's gonna get another one here? Ooh. Finally it's taken down, but not before, as you say, recording 17 on the board. Now the game's not over yet, but off of that spree, off of that control, SSG has paved the way now to only be 5 kills away with a camo in hand as well. This has gotten completely out of hand.
For a second there, I thought Deadzone managed to sneak Bound. He uses 2 spikes, another one's gonna go in. But Bound will fly in himself. He just wants the trades at this point. He knows it's only 4 to go for SSG to make OpTic start to sweat in this series.
What a spree there. A piece of snipe control from Legend in a game that felt so close throughout its entirety is now separated by 7.
Here comes the collapse. Here comes the pinch.
Oh my
there
God.
comes another kill. Here comes a triple, surely for Bound. It's gonna get taken away by Stella, but it's 1 to go here. It's 4 dead. It's 50 kills on the board, and SSG are now within 1.
Legend was 1 kill away from a killing frenzy at the end of that game. That is 9 straight kills in a game that they only win by 11. You talk about difference makers. You talk about players who know they need to earn their world championships. How about Legend stepping up in the end of that game? He goes 18-11 with 11 assists. He leads the entire game in both kills and assists.
I think it's only right if we all just sit back and enjoy these highlights, because there were some of the most insane plays in one game that we usually get from an entire tournament. We see Formal. That's the overkill. This is the kill tag. And at this point, you're like, what else do we have? There's shots like that from Bound.
An unbelievable shot from Bound, by the way. It was a great jiggle peeking and teamwork to neutralize that, Camel. Don't forget, this game was 33-31. And just before, look at this second shot, come on.
What is that?
And he does this. a 9 spree from, and then this is what, I mean, like you said, we have to sit back and enjoy because Legend just put on a world championship performance in that Slayer. And we had said he has otherwise, and a lot of SSG in the first 3, you could easily say, has been quiet. And then you got Bound walking in with all the help here. And in a game that not only felt close, but felt like OpTic was leading for so much of it, instead you end up with a 50-39 blowout in favor of SSG. And that is what Spacestation is capable of. When you think a game might be close or even won, they will steal it out from underneath you. And what did we say? The series layout was going to get dangerous, and the games have not been close in the end, in games 4 and 5.
Where did the success come from? This is the interesting thing. In those first 3 games, it was shutting down the big players of SSG. Now they're starting to wake up, and boy, do they look well rested. You've got Legend going on that snipe run that we just saw. You've got Bound picking up those big moments at the end of that game as well. And you are now seeing an SSG, a Space Station Gaming, that is all fired up. We are into the depths here of this series. Solitude King of the Hill is next. And the record is all Space Stations.
And even with the records on the screen that you just saw, you start to wonder where the mentals are for all 8 players on the stage. Because yes, OpTic Gaming is still only 1 game away from a second best of 7. But you know in the back of their minds, they're thinking we were up 3-0, and now it's 3-2. They know that they need to close it out. They've needed to for a long time. It feels like 45 minutes ago they should have closed it out. And for SSG, keep in mind, because they have a second best of 7 as a backup, nothing to lose for them. Yeah, and they're gonna keep riding this momentum. And what did we say? You cannot give SSG an inch because you just saw in that Slayer what happens. If a player like Legend simply gets to snipe, it's exactly as you talked about, Mark.
Well, here we go then. Map records have been interesting to talk about. We've also seen that at some points during this tournament, they've meant absolutely nothing. And OpTic Gaming will have to keep that in mind if they want to reset the bracket here. SSG, very, very good record here on King of the Hill Solitude. And if they win this one, then they will be 1 game away from crowning themselves the Halo World Champions.
And here we go, getting underway in your King of the Hill Solitude in just a moment.
I mean, I just want to talk. It's almost like it's crazy. I'm sat here like trying to focus on what we have ahead of us now in this King of the Hill game. All I can think of is like what plays we just saw in 1 game.
Honestly,
in 1 game. It started the Legend run, by the way. We weren't listening at the time. We both looked at each other exactly the same way when he was no shields and like slid out to challenge a play. We were like, what? And he hits the body, and then from there, he just goes in this crazy spree.
It was
like,
Kedor.
Whoa, this is crazy.
That's what Legend brings, is when he's no shields flashing on Kedor, and he has help at window, he will still fly out and hit the body on someone who's sitting back window to help his teammate get the kill even faster, to guarantee that, to clear out the area, let his shields recharge, rotate, and do some more damage. And look at this exact team shot down the line. 1 hour ago, you felt very different about this SSG roster. We all did. I think questions being asked.
Yeah.
Questions being asked about this team and how they're playing, and all of a sudden how quickly things can change in just 2 games of play. And questions you might have had about SSG slowly disappearing, and now fears for the green wall.
It's a really interesting moment, actually. I think it was after game 2, and it was a reaction to Bound, and it looked like he just went, he didn't say anything, obviously, but in the player cam just looked, he went, okay. It was like, okay, I see how it is. Like, it's time for us to try and find our way back into this series. OpTic are here to play. Now you look at his player cam there, and it's like, looks comfortable.
Right, exactly.
Looks like they're in control. Very different. And again, I always talk about it because the emotion of these games, the emotion of these series is something you don't see when you're in game. It's what happens between games, between kills, when you have that time to think. And that's where the difference can be made. Solitude King of the Hill up next. Will the series be tied up, or will OpTic reset the bracket? Man, this game feels massive.
Massive. And you start to ask questions about ice now. Which team can find the ice? OpTic Gaming still only 1 game away for resetting the bracket, but Spacestation continues to chip away, and they want to send us to a Game 7.
First kill's gonna go the way of SSG. Bound will find it immediately. Gonna be traded out as formal, and Dead Zone will respond in kind. Reminder that the winning record is certainly on the side of SSG here, but off the rip, it's gonna be SSG who find themselves on the back foot. Formal on the flank.
Legend takes him down. Legend takes him down. Formal thought that'd be an easy flush out of loop. And despite 4 dead, there's no camo grab for OpTic. There's no time in the hill. And even though they had every piece of the puzzle, it's 3 dead again. We'll see if they can get camo and hill off of this rotation.
Ooh, trippy. Big double kill coming in from him. Camo is still available top middle at the moment. Stellar is going to be flanking. I'm not sure if Trippy knows it at the moment. He certainly does now. He's going to have to hit a big shot. Can't quite connect. And now, with OpTic Gaming 3 dead, make it 4 dead. Stellar's got the double. SSG will get the camo, and Stellar has the shock as well.
Man, just not the right place nor right time. Back-to-back 3 deads for OpTic Gaming against SSG. They don't get the camo, nor do they get any hill time. Not a good start for OpTic Gaming, and SSG already with a lead.
Bound's going to have to settle for the trade. I was going to say, looks to settle for the trade. For what was a 4 dead situation with SSG with camo. OpTic are in the hill when SSG at 3 dead.
Just back and forth. Oh no! A killing spree for Stellar, a man who we said had been silenced early on in this series, is instead 7-2 in Game 6.
Last alive when it's Stellar means something different. We talked about it so many times throughout this tournament, so many times throughout this year. He's last alive. There's 4 members of OpTic Gaming alive, and he turns it into a 1v2 with 2 pulls of the trigger.
Stellar just drop sliding not only from BR into Yard, but also Yard into Cafe to get that kill very quickly. Nice movement from him, and he's not done yet.
Progress on this hill is heavily in the favor of Spacestation now. OpTic struggling to get all players alive on the map to really contest not only map presence, but secondary, that hill as well. OpTic 2 dead once more, and it's 2/3 of the way, maybe even 3/4 of the way to being capped.
Big moment here. Lucid versus Bound. Lucid will get taken down. Help from Eco comes in just in time to keep the camo player alive, and Bound will continue dealing damage. Take a look at the hill progress. Only 1 or 2 more ticks to go.
Dead Zone will fall as well. It's another kill for Bound. 5-3 at the start of this game. SSG still inside of this hill, but the challenge is going to come in from Formal, but it's not going to be there in time. And Spacestation will strike first. First hill, bottom middle will go to SSG.
Bound also does so well to pick up those extra kills from top mid as well. They keep OpTic 2 dead, and they maintain the rotation as well into Yard. By the way, take a look at the stats. Stellar's 10-3 in this game. We talked about it was not a matter of if, but when he would heat up. He's doing just that.
SSG have full control of the map as well. They've won the rotation to this next hill, and they already have 1/3 of it in their hands. One player who's struggling a little bit at the start of this game at the OpTic side is what you would say would be Stellar's counterpart. It's Lucid, 1-6, barely able to get off the map at the moment.
And despite all this momentum, still only a 1-0 game and very far from over, but somehow Stellar picks up a kill on Dead Zone he should not have gotten. It was 3 dead. Formal is the only player who can push here on Eco.
And Formal's going to turn his attention from getting kills to staying alive. Legend will take him down, and again, OpTic just can't get near this hill. All of them trapped in blue, all of them trying to flush and contest not just this hill, but they've got to worry about the camo as well. And SSG might be moments away from being 2 up here.
By the way, after that killing spree from Stellar, Legends also joined the party, tied with Stellar at 11 kills apiece.
4 dead for SSG. Finally, OpTic will not only break,
Ooh.
but get some sort of seconds or so to just catch their breath. I think it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for them to experience this first few moments.
Yeah, also the past few games have been a whirlwind where they have not been able to catch their breath. To be honest, the concerns might have come in when Formal was not able to get that kill in loop on Legend. It feels like it has been downhill or uphill, depending on how you look at it. Since then, can they get the stop here? This would be incredible. Very important kills coming in right now.
2 dead on either side at the moment. OpTic have turned this one around a little bit, but look what's happening in and around that hill. It's Legend who will find 2. Alongside Bound, they get the break in the last second, and SSG will secure the second hill.
OpTic Gaming could not afford to lose Yard there. They at least needed to hold the BR, at least get the spawns around the BR or driveway to try to hold that. And even though they still had numbers up, SSG is able to get into the Yard with 2 players, and they get the second hill with only 2:22 left on the clock.
Only 2:22 as well. Quite right that you say that, because with a 2-0 lead, you don't have to force anything if you are Space Station Gaming. You can play for the kills, you can burn some time. And every single kill that you pick up denies OpTic Gaming getting closer to potentially turning this next game in front of us around. Bound finds one onto Formal. Stella is in the death screen on the SSG side. Legend will find another one though, and all of a sudden OpTic starting to worry a little bit here because SSG are just finding kill after kill.
Look at the movement from Bound as well. He hits the drop slide perfectly on LR to let his shield recharge so he can chase Dead Zone all the way around Yard and on VR. He's not done yet. Amazing aggression coming out of him.
Lucid last alive, he'll get flushed out as well. A killing spree and 4 dead for OpTic Gaming, and they are trapped. Shock rifle coming up. One little bit of a fortunate spawn by the looks of things coming in from Trippy, or maybe he tried to loop round. Will turn into 2. Space Station now have to be a little bit careful. Legend last alive.
Really good peek shotting still coming in from Legend. He's going to try to keep an eye on Camo, at least get the info of where it's going. Doesn't really take much damage here. Finally, he's taken down, but not before a lot of... Bound shuts down the Camo again! Just when you thought OpTic maybe had an opportunity to create a break. 2v2 on the map. But SSG, look at the stats on the right side, on the top right. They're outslaying 49 to 37. Even Eco, he might be negative, but he's got 12 assists in the game.
Huge damage coming in from Eco that everyone else is playing off of. OpTic have capped half of this hill, but there's just over a minute left in this game. The transition to the next hill is the important thing as well. If OpTic, and it's a big if, can secure this hill, then they have to win the rotate to the next one as well, but they're not going to be able to do that with every single member in the death screen. SSG, get the 4 dead. OpTic have to fight a free spawn.
An absolute stranglehold in this game, just completely being outslayed, and once those first 2 hills got recorded, you could even argue once the first hill got recorded, no room for OpTic to push whatsoever. There's 34 seconds left on the game clock.
Well, SSG are 2 dead, and even though it's only 30 seconds, we know that clock will stop when you stand in that hill. And OpTic are looking to force this, but Eco is going to force them out of the hill himself. Stella gets his shields back. He knows that OpTic have to go for this hill. He knows that they've got no choice. And every single member who steps into his zone, he's just chopping down at the moment.
The kills are getting out of hand on the SSG side. 10 seconds left on the game clock. They're going to let the clock burn.
OpTic Gaming, a reminder, we're 3-0 up in this series. And even though they're desperately trying to show some life at the end of this game, they're going to concede it. They know that it's done. And Space Station Gaming are now 1 game away from completing the ultimate reverse sweep and becoming the Halo World Champions.
Blink and you might miss it. SSG wins 3 games straight and reminds us what they are capable of, and not just wins 3 straight, but the way they've done it has been decimating. We'll take a look at highlights from that game 6, but it has been all SSG for the past hour of Grand Finals play, and plays like this from Stellar made it impossible for OpTic to make anything happen in the game.
One thing I will say, OpTic kept fighting until the very last second there. They wanted to try and force this game as deep as they could get it to go. But SSG just looked like a different team to what we saw in that first 2 or 3 games. They now know that OpTic are rattled, that OpTic are on the back foot, and they are 1 game away now from winning the Halo World Championships. This has been an incredible first series. Incredible. But we also have to remember, if OpTic win this next game, we go again.
And at the same time, if SSG wins this game, it will only have ever been a first series, and there will be no second series. And not just that, it'll be a heartbreaking reverse sweep from the side of Space Station Gaming to potentially put the punctuation mark on not only their year of wins, but also of heartbreak for OpTic Gaming.
And the stats haven't lied. The stats haven't lied. When it comes to the game types, when it comes to the records, when it comes to the success of who has managed to take those game types away, this was the run from both teams to get here. Remember, Space Station knocked OpTic Gaming down in that winners final with a 3-1 victory. Then OpTic had to run through FaZeland to get here, to find themselves in this final. And at 3-0 up, you thought maybe, just maybe, we're going to a second best of 7, but how long ago does that conversation feel like it was? Because now, the conversation is if Spacestation Gaming win this next game, they're champs.
Stats from the entire grand final so far, somehow we are in a game 7, despite OpTic Gaming's opening. A few players that are jumping out, of course, Formal at a 1.27, Legend at a 1.21 so far. But none of those stats matter to any of the players on the stage right now. All they're going to care about is the final score of your Game 7 Slayer, because it will determine if we strap in for another few hours here this evening, or if SSG steals the series and the World Championship trophy out from underneath OpTic Gaming in just one series. And if you stepped away to grab a drink or get a snack, as OpTic Gaming takes a quick breather off the stage. We've seen this before, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. Somehow, we now find ourselves at 3-3. And one final game to decide if we continue playing or if SSG are your world champions.
It must be very strange to be on either side of this stage right now, and even a fan of either of these teams here in Seattle. If you're a Spacestation fan, after 3 games, I doubt many people were smiling. And now, fast forward an hour or so, you're probably thinking this is it. There's no way we could lose this. For OpTic fans, they're probably thinking this is the run we needed. This is what we believed we were going to see from this team. And now, you're thinking surely, not again. Not a second place once more. But as the players step away, as the team step away, and OpTic stepped away, we have seen that conversation before. We have seen these moments before. When Lucid, Formal, will be speaking to Trippy in Dead Zone, and they will be speaking back in response and saying exactly what they need to do in order to reset mentally, in order to remember it's one more game of Halo. And this thing is not over yet.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line in this Game 7. Of course, if SSG takes it, they'll take not just the trophy, but those hundreds of thousands as well. So much riding on this Game 7. OpTic wants to send us the distance, but they have now been against a grueling gauntlet of losses, 3 straight. And not just that, but up against unbelievable aggression and playmaking coming in from so many players on the SSG side as we load in. And man, it is wild to think that we somehow ended up here in a Game 7. And the question is, can OpTic Gaming dig deep? Can they find the resilience, the strength, and the heart to still take this series that they once led 3-0?
Well, here we go then, Seattle. This could be the final game of the Halo World Championships, the final game of the season. If Spacestation Gaming can win it, they will complete the reverse sweep and be your champions, or will OpTic still have something to say about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're underway in a Game 7 in the grand final. You don't always get one of these. They only come along a few times a decade. And we're so happy to have you joining us here. Formal turns on Eco to get the opening kill.
No objectives to worry about. It's all about the kills. It's all about your shots. And it's all about control of things like the camo. Trippy gets the first one here, and a slender lead is in the hands of OpTic.
Unsurprisingly, it's going to be another one. A slow-paced, methodical Slayer here between these teams. When it blows open, it'll get a little wild. 3 dead for OpTic Gaming, tied 4-4 off the opening.
Camo not too effective on the side of OpTic. Legend and the rest of Spacestation bait it in beautifully, managed to turn it into a trade instead of anything more damaging for them. A complete split across the map, with OpTic Gaming owning the pipes and gold area. Blue and Elevator belong to Spacestation Gaming. But SSG want to make the play. They're trying to push forward. They want to be aggressive.
Really nice job there on the double long haul push. That was not easy. It's a very good push. They're going to continue here at gold.
Damage is coming in as well. You can see the Legend is waiting for Eco and Stella to play off of it. And Eco doesn't need to be asked twice. 2 no shields.
Oh, boy.
Kill, not for him, but it's going to be 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills for SSG as they flush OpTic out of pipes.
They made it look way too easy. It's a double long haul push coming in with additional damage coming in from glass into batteries and into the pipes. As a result, they're easily able to push in deep into pipes and get all 4 kills. And even though we saw a small lead for OpTic early on, Spacestation gets 4 unanswered. They lead 9-5. They also earn the shock rifle as a reward.
And it's a full shock rifle as well, and OpTic will have to show because the camo is up in a second's time as well. Trippy pokes, and Stellar folds him up.
11-6 off the opening. What a start here from SSG somehow. Stellar also manages to stay alive. We'll see if he can do so on glass, eventually taken down by Dead Zone. See what Eco can do for pipes.
Really big moments here for OpTic though. They pick up the kills. Eco's last alive. Trying to retreat back to his teammates, but he won't be allowed to get away. Trippy gets the camo. And the OpTic fans start to believe once more. The green wall chant starts as OpTic with this camo have a chance to tie this game up.
Oh my goodness, I think we were all Trippy in that moment. As the nades come in Whirlpool, he somehow stays alive with the camo.
Trippy keeps his teammate alive, but then he whiffs. He connects with nothing. And Stellar and Eco come out of that situation with 2 kills. OpTic find themselves 3 dead. And SSG keep this 4-kill advantage, make it 5.
Oh my goodness, once again, the camo not as effective as OpTic Gaming needed it to be. SSG now leading here by 5 once again off a great shot from Stellar. Let's get into a listening here with SSG.
Get out of there, Bound. You want to get out of there? You want to get out of there? Now's a good time. You sit there, Bound. One's glass, one trippy corner.
Can you come in?
Yeah, there's one guy blue point shot, Bound. I can't really watch you.
Maybe in the corner.
I know. I don't have any cross. You bottom mid, one guy.
One more shot.
I'm going ballad.
More stacks.
Bottom BR, kill me, Bound. He's main clear. Triple stack, bottom tower. He's bottom A, he went bottom A, Bound. He's bottom A. He's half wall, Kevin. Weak brain. Keep loading, Braden. I have a shot, guys. I have a shot.
He's gonna be long, probably. Your camo, yep.
I have a shot.
What could be? You guys might probably hit out it. Yo, one bottom main, lift legend.
Yeah.
Watching C plat, right?
Okay, come on. I got it.
I just got it.
We should pull it in, maybe.
You push less bit.
Try to equalize this shit.
I'm down in a second.
Watch the bats. Okay, top cut.
I have grapple. Camo's not bad. He could be long out of glass or some shit, or front red.
I think pipe.
At some point during this series, we felt like Stellar was going to have an influence. He's 5-1 in this game 7.
Ooh, and it looks like out of nowhere, we do see a game end there. Have to see exactly what might have happened for
Lost an OpTic member.
an issue on the stage. So we'll have to see exactly where the score was as well. But as you said, Stellar off to a 5-1 lead in that game, which also just trying to eagle eye camo, and you had a feeling from his POV that he was about to eagle eye him going trippy spot. We'll of course get word on exactly what's going to happen here on the main stage, but SSG with an unbelievable start in the game.
The strange part of me is thinking, hey, maybe if OpTic win this one, would there be some conversations about game restarts after what we had in this?
I wonder.
You never know. No, we'll have to wait and see. All fun and games, of course. 21-16 is where the game ended. We'll have to, of course, get confirmation on where that technical issue did come in the game. And we will update you as soon as possible. But I'm hearing it's 20-16 in the favor of SSG. With 8 minutes left in the game, so a 4-kill advantage for them.
Still so much to play for here in this game 7. As you said, only a 4-kill difference, which at this point is just not only one round of slays, but specifically how early it is in the game. Very, very important. And it goes without saying, but anyone's game here.
One opening strategy. If OpTic win it, we're going to tie a game. And off the back of that, they might be able to just move around the map, get that shot, get that camo, and make this series a little bit more interesting. I don't know about you, I just got a feeling that we might have some more Halo to play.
Hey, sign me up. I am ready for a long evening of more Halo on our screens. SSG has something else in mind, as they would love to end it here, hoist a trophy, and maybe get to dinner before these restaurants in downtown Seattle close, but hey, for me, I'm just fine with an Uber Eats play much later on because I would love to see a few more hours and a second best of 7.
I'm going to do both, but I'm going to restaurant and Uber.
And you gotta go to the gym.
Remember that sign again. I need to catch the gym.
And just as if this series didn't need a little bit more waiting for its conclusion, we now have to be patient here as we get back into our game number 7. It's already been one for the history books, not just today, but this entire weekend of Halo World Championship Halo. The Green Wall in strength, in numbers. It feels like wherever we go in the world, there are fans of the Green Wall. And of course, as you see, also more and more SSG fans in the building as well.
Certainly is indeed, and it's been an amazing season so far. Some of the best series of Halo we've seen in what feels like, you know, every single season, every event seems to just evolve, and we're like, there's no way that could happen again. Like, that was the best series we're going to see in quite some time. That was one of the best moments we're going to see in quite some time. And then we get to the next stop, and it just seems like the level just keeps being raised and raised to the point where it's like, how can we get any better? Like, how can these players get any better? But we'll have to wait and see next season. Of course, with the announcement that we will be back next season, the Halo Championship Series will keep going. If that bar continues to be raised. Some incredible announcements, of course, before the grand final.
I say, yeah. Just in case you missed it, make sure you head to the Halo Twitter, to the HCS Twitter. You're not going to want to miss it, but we'll talk about those later because there's one more thing to talk about, at least in this first best of 7. We are going to resume here game number 7, Recharge Slayer, to determine how the rest of the night will go.
399 days until OpTic's last victory. Can they send us to a second best of 7 here? All SSG call themselves world champions. SSG get the shroud down early, get the camo, but Bound has no shields. Can he escape from here?
Somehow he doesn't. Shroud
Slippery.
Somehow, and also baits out the kill on Trippy. Stellar has his back. And even though those kills will be traded, more importantly for SSG, at the 21 mark, they get away with the camo.
Stellar finds another one as well, and Bound now can go hunting. Does get spotted momentarily. A little bit of a tap on the shoulder thanks to the bandit bullet. Ooh. Well, he's just collecting information. Look at this, they're setting up a big push coming in here. Deadzone has no idea of Bound's position, even though he puts great damage in. Bound stays alive, but Formal now comes to life. He finds 2. Eco will exchange those kills, and we are back to a situation where it's a 4-kill advantage still for SSG.
Completely even here, as you say, off of the kills that followed from the restart. Now 24-20 in favor of SSG. They're going to be happy with that so far, but you know they want to make sure they can pull away even further here. Deadzone just holding the angle on pipes.
Big moments here. SSG do not have the shot. Deadzone, who we've been talking about as being one of the standout players for OpTic Gaming so far this tournament, has a chance to make a play that we'll be talking about for quite some time. This time, can only clip the wall, does not clip the wings.
And what a grand final it's been from Deadzone. You saw the numbers he was putting up. Let's not forget, in some of those games, he was going 21-10. We'll get some chain damage there. But unsurprisingly, the SSG members will retreat. And even though there's 6:15 left on the clock, they're going to be very happy to play this advantage and bait out the shock ammo. Camo coming up in 10, of course.
Spacestation more than happy to play this, as you say, bait out the shock ammo. Wait for that camo to come up and then make their play off the back of it. Deadzone might have an opportunity to hit a shot, but Stellar is going to make this a little bit more awkward. He makes the push, he gets the kill, but Deadzone will answer back. Stellar runs away, and I think he might have just created enough space for SSG to grab this camo, and yes, indeed, it's Eco who has it.
He was also trying to eagle eye that. Ooh, boy, lots of team shots coming in from that ledge. 1v1 here, Trippy versus Eco.
Oh, Trippy survives!
It doesn't trade! And he shuts down camo. How important has that been all series long? With how closely as these teams are matched, it comes down to camo denials, and it's another kill that comes in, 2 dead. And somehow, some way, it's a 2-kill game, 27-25.
What a massive moment that is, and now Lucid gets another. OpTic Gaming, off the back of the Trippy player, 1 kill away from tying this up, and Lucid has done exactly that. He's 27-27.
Oh my word, 4 kills straight for OpTic Gaming. And they tie the game off of an unbelievable series of plays, and Trippy just pulling out all the stops. They call him Game 5 Trip. Here he is, Game 7 Trip.
Brown gets the kill though, gets the second. Trade coming in. OpTic find themselves 3 dead, and for all the hard work they just did in the last 30 to 40 seconds, it's SSG who still have an advantage here. It's only the 2 kills. Stella's not going to make it more. Deadzone's going to back him down.
Nades will not catch. Stellar knows he needs to get out of there. Had a chance of being in a 1v2 in pipes. And as you say, despite all the great efforts of OpTic Gaming, oh boy, this is a dangerous one. Somehow that Nade does not catch either Lucid or Deadzone enough to take them down. Heavy team shots coming in from Gold and pipes from all of OpTic Gaming. And at this point, we also have to remind everyone there's only 4 minutes on the game clock. We may not see this game go to 50.
And as we were a few moments ago, we have the same position on the map, we have the same setup, and we have the camo, which is going to be the point of contention, but SSG, again, make the play just beforehand. They get the 2 kills they're looking for. A 3-kill advantage here, and Stella has the shock once more.
Bound on camo again, shrouded camo.
He's going to get it. He's going to get away with it as well. Even though he's taking a little bit of splash damage. Legend's going to move in to clean up some of this damage. 1 kill for Legend, 2 kills for Legend, and with that it's a 4-kill advantage once again for SSG.
And he keeps holding forward as well. He's not done yet. He's gonna keep just poking and prodding and at least getting info, and somehow stays alive as well.
1 more bullet and he was gone. But he times it perfectly, escapes at just the right time. Stella still with the shock. SSG was still a 3-kill advantage here, as Stella now relocates himself towards the turbine, away from that bat ledge angle to try and catch some OpTic Gaming members off guard.
Oh! And it's shots like that that are going to continue to increase the gap. 37-33. Once again, it's a 4-kill lead for SSG in the home stretch. Only 3 minutes left now.
3 minutes left. OpTic need to up the pace at some point, but they know they can't afford to trade kills out. They can't afford to lose a team fight. Legend will find one as well. Lucid trades it out. Trippy is trying to poke, trying to prod, trying to be the aggressor for his team. But time is the factor. Stella takes 1 to the grave. Gonna slide in to try and finish off Trippy as well, and maybe if he gets this kill, he might be thinking about finishing off OpTic as well.
Doesn't get the kill on Trippy though. However, a lot of kills come in the feed. Legend and Bound also teaming up for additional kills. That brings them now to a 6-kill lead once again. 7 kills.
Killing spree for Stella. At some point, he was gonna have a say in this series. At some point, he was gonna come to life, and this is the perfect moment for SSG.
How about Stellar 9-2 in the reset? They're now up by 9 kills. Only 6 to go. Make it 4.
My question coming into this grand finals was, how will the road look at the end of it? Will it be paved with bricks from the green wall? Or will it be lined with the stars of SSG? Well, we're starting to get closer and closer to getting our answer. Stella gets taken down, but Bound will complete the ultimate turnaround as Spacestation Gaming will become your Halo World Champions.
And of all the ways to do it, a full reverse sweep in the most dominant fashion, 4 games straight, unanswered, to take down OpTic Gaming and secure your 2024 Halo World Championship title.
An incredible display of skill, heart, determination, and of course, incredible dedication and ability. Seattle, give it up for your Halo World Champions, Spacestation Gaming!
And how about Legend? The first to raise the trophy. What a year he's had. What a statement, not just for Europe, but for aspiring players everywhere. To now lift this trophy alongside this team. They bookend the year with not just wins, but 4 major wins total, only dropping 1 event. And of course, most importantly, your 2024 Halo World Championship trophy.
It's a second Halo World Championship moment for Eco and Stella, but a first for Bound and Legend. He can't believe it. What a year it's been for Legend. What a year it's been for Spacestation Gaming. 3 out of the 4 majors belong to them. And now the Halo World Championship belongs to them as well. No one can say that this has not been the year of SSG.
That'll do it for us here in the booth. It's been a pleasure. Now let's get down onto the floor to Blaze and the entire SSG roster.
Seattle, one more time for your Halo 2024 champions, Space Station Gaming! Wow, Coach. This one I know is a special one for you. Talk to me about this season and what hoisting this trophy means for you and the boys.
I mean, this means everything. We didn't want to jinx it before, but nothing else mattered if we didn't take this one. So, world champs, couldn't be prouder.
Man, getting that one in the books for the org. I know everyone over there in the Space Station camp is super happy, but Eco, I know you're happy to get that second world championship. How you feel?
I feel amazing. I just want to say shout out to Space Station. Shout out to my teammates. Like, we put in so much work this year. And shout out to everybody from family supporting, like support system means a lot. It helps a lot.
It definitely does, okay? And I already know the way that this crowd was cheering all weekend long, you felt it on the stage and it helped push you guys through that moment. I want to slide on over because I got to talk to the first European Halo World Champion, this legend. How does this feel to be able to get 4 wins in a season, get the MVP, and come out on top?
I mean, it's crazy. Like last season when I got like top 6 at Worlds, I've never thought that like the season right after I would be a world champ and like winning three majors. It has been insane, but it's because of my teammates because like they decided to pick me up. So thank you very much to them. And also big shout out to the SSG fans. Thank you for cheering for us. And thank you to every fan of every team. Like you guys are the one who make this esports special. Thank you.
Legend, would you like to say something in French here for your home fans?
Yeah. Merci à tous les Français qui me supportent depuis 3 ans et je continue à vous rendre fier. Merci beaucoup.
There you go, right there. Now, I got Bound with me. Bound, your 3P, you get your 4th championship in the season. Talk to me about how does it feel to be a Halo World Champion?
Yep. I mean, to be able to win like that, I'm not gonna lie, we're down 3-0. I'm like, God damn it, it's one of these. The fact we just pulled that off, all these people here, we 3P'd, got a ring, like, I don't even know what to say right now. I guess I'll shout out my teammates. They played amazing, great players. I was kind of getting shit on the first couple games. Happens. Shout out my family, shout out my amazing girlfriend, all the support. Couldn't do it without them. They literally moved Legend into our house, just like within like 3 weeks of notice. So, I don't know, this is the loss for words right now. I feel like I say this every time, but that was special.
Yo, shout out to the fam of Bound and Bound himself for getting this one done. Pass the mic on over to Stellar and shift on in for a little bit. Stellar, I'm gonna come to your side. You've won a lot of championships before, but in a reverse sweep fashion in how you did this one. How proud are you of the team and how did y'all get this one done?
That was a special one. I mean, we knew no matter what, like if we just got 1 win, like we could literally just win the series. And I mean, yeah, we took it 1 game at a time. And I mean, we went through winner's bracket too. And I'm proud of that, obviously, because we drop into lowers bracket a lot. But yeah, this one is fucking awesome.
You know, you guys went through everything this season and you accomplished it all, went over every single hurdle. What do you want to say? You're a man of few words, but what do you want to say to this crowd and these fans who is chanting Stellar, who you was put on the show for all weekend long with them snipes?
Just thank you for coming out. I mean, I love Halo, and these events are like what I live for, so thank you guys.
All right, hand me that mic, and let's hoist that trophy one more time, Space Station. Seattle, let your voices be heard for Space Station Gaming!
A 3P on the cards there for them. A World Championship, 4 wins this season. The accolades are certainly adding up. 4 incredible gentlemen on your stage there. The players are incredible. Elamite, the coach, unbelievable stuff. And I got to say something that really does stand out to me, not just the gameplay, which we'll get into in just a moment, but Clutch, the emotion. happening on that stage. The emotion is flowing, rightfully so. It means everything to all of those players and that coach on that stage. I mean, a moment like this, you know, you've seen it, you've witnessed history, you've experienced it. What's going through their minds right now?
I mean, honestly, it's just so much relief, so much stress that's taken off your shoulders here. The hard work has paid off. It's another one of these stories where they take a risk and they pick up a European player at the start of the year. You're wondering, how is this going to work out? He doesn't speak much English. We haven't had the success. We're the only of the big three that haven't won a world championship in Halo Infinite. OpTic and FaZe both having their share. Are we ever going to pull this off in the biggest moment? And it wasn't until this weekend that they were able to accomplish that goal, check that box off, and join the list of world champions.
Look at the trophies right now on show. They brought all of it on stage, and rightfully so. Literally just the most dominant performance from this team this season. Tony, you know, something that Clutch mentioned is European, right? A European player. The history that is being made right now is crazy to think about. Legend, MVP coming into this season. He's also a rookie in his own right. He comes forward into North America, lives with Bound, gets picked up by one of the best rosters you could ask for, and then takes the whole damn thing, including 3 major wins. I mean, this young man probably has to take some time to process, because there isn't enough time this year to process all of the achievements he's been going through. How proud are you of Legend?
Oh, I mean, extremely proud. You know, in my young career commentating, you know, he's been a large part of that. I've been watching him grow into the young man that we see before us right here, right now. This young man is not just the MVP of the regular season. He was the MVP here in Champs, and he has a bright future ahead of him.